trying to tell you, it's not cute. It's not cute. Well, it is, but
this way.
What? Oh, you know what? Let me see. What is this?
Beyonka.
You guys ready for me to talk about people? Y'all ready for me to talk about them bitter baby mamas? Because I got a lot to say. So I hope none of them be mad at me today.
Well, they don't know they bitter.
I know, that's what I think.
That's the thing. They don't know they bitter.
I was thinking that. I said a lot of them probably like, oh, she ain't talking about me. When actually, I am. So. Yes, you are the one. You are the one. Okay.
Shoe fits, wear it.
Yes.
That's
all right.
The way you're going to get over your feeling.
Right. All right, you guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Beyonka's Playhouse. I am live inside of Beyonka Studios, and I'm here with my beautiful guest, my guest of honor. Like, I've been waiting to have her in the Playhouse since the first day that Beyonka Studios was created. So I'm so happy to have her inside the Playhouse with me tonight, and it is the beautiful Miss Chloe Blue.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, thank you for finally coming. No, I know you've been busy, super busy.
Yeah.
And you came in blue.
I know.
Oh, I love it.
Every time I go out, I have something blue on. And usually it's not on purpose. It's crazy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, that's like what's her name? The actress with the white.
Oh, Lisa
Ray. Lisa Ray. Oh,
I love her.
I do too. So, are you excited? Because tonight we have like one of those controversial topics that we can either be loved for or we can be hated for. I think we're gonna be loved for it though. What you guys think tonight? I think we're gonna be loved for it.
Because we're gonna talk about both sides. I think.
I think so too. And you know, we I'm not gonna say we come from two different places because I don't know where you come from yet until I do the interview. But I just Jerry. Did I say that like this? Jerry Hill. Okay. Shout out to Cherry Hill. But you know, we definitely have two different backgrounds, so it would be awesome to get two different perspectives. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, you know, for all of you that are watching, first of all, how y'all like my hair? Y'all like this new style?
It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Really,
you know, I'm stuck with the braids on the side thing, right? And so I tried to do something new tonight. Shout out to Nook Nook, because Nook Nook did it. But I wanted to do something different, so I said, Nook Nook, you know, I'm not gonna do the braids. I'm gonna do, you know, a whole head of hair tonight.
Right.
And then it was done, and I was like, Nook, can you braid that side over there? Because
just one braid.
I could not do it. Oh my gosh, I've got to get out of this phase. But so I hope you guys like it because it's definitely something new. And I tried some color. So I did the black thing for a little while. I wasn't gonna go crazy and do pink, blue, and you know I will do some colors. But I said, right, I love it. I love it.
Yes,
so I hope you guys are liking it. So tonight we are talking about bitter baby mamas. That's the first topic. And then later on in the show, we're going to go into talking about what a woman wants, because you have two very beautiful women on the show tonight. I'm going to just go ahead and call myself beautiful along with Chloe. Somebody probably was like, oh, is somebody else coming? No, it's me. It's just no, but like it's us. I'm going to include myself in that beautiful. But you have two very beautiful, intelligent women on the show tonight. So I feel like, you know, it's only right that we kind of give guys a little bit of what it is that a woman really wants, so that he can't say like, oh, I didn't really know. I thought that, you know, me just telling her that she was cute was what she wanted, you know, stuff like that. So we're going to school you a little bit tonight later on in the show, and we're going to get to know Miss Chloe and know about all of the awesome projects she has going on and where she came from. I'm going to get all up in her business, all that good stuff. So, but we're going to start off with the topic at hand, you know, bitter baby mamas, and I would love to hear from you guys. So you guys are more than welcome to comment in the comments and tell me all about what you think a bitter baby mama is, and how you feel about that topic altogether. So I don't know if you saw Miss Chloe, but there was an internet viral video that went around where a gentleman got his son's haircut. And the mother, like came to pick up the children, and she got upset because he cut the little boy's hair. And what angered me a bit more than just that she was upset about the haircut is that her mom like got into it or something too, like some type of way she got included in the altercation as well. And the little boy was present. He was right there when all of this was going on. And so we, often we see situations like that happen where you have a child's mom upset with the dad, and we're on the outside looking in, so we're kind of trying to figure out why is she that upset? Why she
I had a situation with my son because he had locks. So I cut his locks because he asked me to. He started wanting haircuts. He wanted like the design in his head and stuff like that. So he's young. He's only 7. So I said, if he wants to.
Let me change mics with you. Okay. Because I see you got that cute voice, and I'm loud, so I'm gonna change mics.
You want me to get louder? I can get louder. No. I want to think I want this one anyway.
Yeah. I already knew she was trying to get my mic, y'all.
Yeah.
And then she got the echo one too.
Okay, yeah. So my son is 7, so I cut his hair.
Okay.
And his father had a fit because his father has locks, so I guess it was like a father-son thing or whatever. But he wanted the locks more than my son did. So when I cut the locks, it was more so for my son. It wasn't for me, because we had broken up and stuff, and I guess he felt like it was a way for me to get back at him, but it had nothing to do with that,
So how did your son feel though about his locks being cut?
At first, he had to adjust because locks are heavy. You go from having heavy hair to like now you can just do whatever,
Yeah.
He used to swing his locks around all wild like Wu-Tang,
Oh, of course, I got some with locks too, girl. He'd be all over the place.
And he was the cutest, and I love his locks. Like, but he can always grow them back. I wanted to give him the experience of a haircut and just experiencing a haircut and seeing how he liked that. I mean, hair will grow back.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be that much. I feel like it shouldn't be that big of a deal, And I mean, you can ask the other parent. That's fair. If she felt like he should have asked her, okay. But if he didn't, it's still not. I feel like it's not that big of a deal to get all, unless it's some stuff behind that. Some people trying to use the child to like.
That's kind of funny, right? Because she did like the opposite. So she's the one who actually cut the child's hair in this situation. It's like a whole turn of events over here because she's the one that actually cut the child's hair, and the dad got upset. But I think that that's a different situation altogether because the father was growing locks too. So I think they might have had something, more to do with it. The fact that, the father and son bond type thing, he probably felt like, oh, I want my son to look like me. I want him to have what I have, but that's probably where that came from. But I think the same way dads tell us, and at a certain point in our son's lives, a dad will tell us like, you gotta let him be himself. You can't, baby him. You can't, he's not going to be a mama's boy all the time.
Right.
I think that kind of goes for the dads too. And it might be a hard pill for the dads to swallow, just like it's a hard pill for the mom to swallow. Yeah. So if, and as his mom, the thing is, as being his mom, you actually have the right to make that decision on whether or not you want your son's haircut. Because for me, it was the opposite with my younger son. I wanted his hair to grow.
Okay.
And his acting dad was like,
I don't know
how not to cut up. I'm sorry. I don't know how to behave. I don't. But his acting dad, he wanted him to get a haircut, and I didn't want him to get a haircut. So we kind of went back and forth with, him getting a haircut or not, because he got his haircut on a regular basis. So he wanted him to get his haircut.
I think it becomes more about the adults instead of the child, and that's
wrong. It does. So that goes right into the topic of being a bitter baby mama and making decisions that will essentially hurt your child, and I think the bitterness that you feel, and this is for the ladies. So first of all, let me say that the reason for me doing this topic is not to bash any woman or not to come on here and make any ladies mad at me. And I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, ain't she a baby mama? I absolutely am not. So yes, I am. I'm a proud baby mama. Somebody's gonna say, wait a second.
And it's not something you get into wanting. You don't want to be a baby mama.
Exactly. We were talking about that before the show. Like, no one goes into having a child with that perception that I'm going to be a baby mama. I want to be a baby mama. I'm an ex-wife and a baby mama, and I didn't want to be an ex-wife, nor did I want to be a baby mama. And so no one goes into that, situation with that thought in mind. However, in going through that situation of becoming a mom and, becoming, having a child and essentially not being with that child's father anymore because of certain reasons will make you bitter, right? Yeah. That's just because we're human and it's natural. We can be angry, we can be upset, we can be mad he cheated and now he got a whole nother girlfriend and they having a good life and we over here mad because they having a good life, right? Right. Like, wait a second, no, he didn't. In our minds, we can want to kill him in our mind.
Well, yeah, it has,
but not outside, not outside,
right,
not outside, because it's illegal.
Right,
that's the only reason, because it's illegal.
You have those ones that you want to kill, but at the same token, like you have people that's bitter. I feel like because I've been bitter before, not because I'm a baby mama, but other things can cause you to be bitter.
I would say pain causes bitterness.
Yeah, and exactly. So bitterness to me is just a form of hurt that has not been addressed. So sometimes people are bitter because they haven't dealt with what they're feeling. So sometimes they don't even know they're bitter until somebody call them out on them, like, you better ask this, you better nigga, whatever. Like, until somebody call them out, they don't even know they're bitter. And then they go home and think like, wow, what is causing me to feel this way? I don't want to feel this way. Yeah. Then you gotta look at the man in the mirror, Michael Jackson, okay? Man in the mirror. You gotta deal with exactly what's going on inside you, because if you don't, that's something you have to walk around with. Yeah. And the other person is gone, living their lives, not even probably thinking about you.
Oh, and you know what? The bitterness that a woman carries from having a child and her child's father no longer being with her, ladies, and I'm telling you, this has to be about, I'm going to say 70, like percentages, like 78.6% of baby mamas. The bitterness statistics, right? And it's all Beyonka statistics, so don't go Googling. Okay. But a lot of the bitterness, I believe, comes from the fact that he never acknowledged your pain. It's like we want our pain to be acknowledged, and when our pain is not acknowledged, then we get even more bitter or even more upset, and that causes us to do things that we shouldn't do. But this is my advice to women out there who are walking around with, what did you call it, pain that has not been addressed. Yeah. Women that are walking around with pain that has not been addressed and walking around with pain that the person who inflicted that pain on you has not addressed. I think if you allow yourself to let go of that, and don't get me wrong, it's gonna hurt. Don't get me wrong, just letting go is so easy to say, but it's a whole process.
How do you let go?
How do you? Yeah. Let me tell you how I let go. And this is the God honest truth. The way I let go of my pain from my ex-husbands is literally by giving that pain to God. By really, and people that are not in tune with God, they may make comments like, well, how do you do that? Or what does that mean? I literally had to really, and I talk about this every time I go live, I have conversations with God probably about 20 times a day, if not more. but when I went through my divorce, my first divorce, and I knew that my ex-husband wasn't going to be a part of my children's life, I literally had to pray and ask God to give me the strength to just be there for them and to give them everything. And and I stopped focusing on him not being there, and I focused on making sure that I was able to be there.
That's called stepping up.
Yeah, because if I focused on him not being there, then my children wouldn't have been able to have me there 100%. You know what I mean?
And they need
you. And then in my second marriage, y'all was right, kind of, but I didn't. So,
I'm glad you didn't, because we wouldn't. This show would not be here.
We wouldn't be here. But
on the side.
But you know what? I allowed my hurt and my pain to really, really, really push me to being strong enough for them, because I really wanted to just be like, you know what? I'm not going to take them around him, especially his family, because I couldn't stand his family just as much as I couldn't stand him because of all the hurt and pain that I endured with them.
And you know they're going to take his side.
And I knew they were going to take his side. And for those ladies and gentlemen out there, like, let me tell you something. My second husband, the family, like, they really, it was bad. It was a bad situation. I'm talking about bad. But not one time when my children asked me to be around their father did I say no. Ex-husband refused to come and see them, so I had to meet him. I had to meet him at random gas stations.
That's enough
for him to see my kids, right? And I still wasn't bitter. I was like, okay.
But see, that's the type of things that would make you bitter. And people think all bitter people are just jealous or something mean or something bad, but bitterness is just hurt. It doesn't always come in the form of being jealous of him being with another woman. I don't care fucking less. You know
yes, tell him again.
Yes. But it comes in other forms of hurt. When you know that you're fronting all the bills, everything that this baby needs to survive, you're doing, and he does not offer a dime.
Yes.
That can make you resent him. It can be hurtful, you know. And a lot of these guys running around talking about, oh, you gonna take me to court, you gonna take me to the system ain't gonna do nothing for a black man, But I've tried for 7 years with you to see eye to eye on this financial thing. And you think I'm trying to get in your pockets? No, I can support my own. I've been doing it. Clearly, without you, but I do need you to play your part financially. You know, because it's two ways. Like, you know, you got some people, some guys they're out here like, as long as I get my son once or twice a month, and I do want to see him, and I'm all good. No, like, I'm with him 24/7. I pay bills. I buy the clothes on his back. I feed him. So it's not equal. So unless you're equal with me, your parent, you can't call yourself a parent like I can. You can't call yourself a parent.
And it makes you, and that's what makes you a little bit better too. That'll make you better too, because you know you don't get the respect of the fact that you are being the parent and both parents in a household. You know, even if a dad or even a mom, because I get inboxes all the time, right? So ladies, I mean, gentlemen, trust me and understand that I know now today that it's not just men that walk away from their children, that women do too. I don't really understand that because my maternal instinct came a long time ago. So I don't understand that. However, I'm aware of it. And I'm going to just say, you know, either way, whether you're the single mom or you're the single dad, you know, you do develop some of that bitterness because of situations like that. When you want them to just acknowledge the fact that you get up every morning, you feed your child every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you taking them to the doctors, you making sure they go to school. You know, that bitterness comes from you doing everything and then not being acknowledged. You know, so your pain isn't acknowledged, your grind isn't acknowledged, you know.
But you're acknowledged, but sometimes it's a negative acknowledgement.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
They tell you, she crazy, she this, she that.
Yes. Like, oh, y'all know I know, right? Because they say I'm crazy. Let me tell you something. But I one of my craziness is never allowed myself to want to keep my children from their fathers. Never. I was so serious that, and look, I hope one day this boy see this. One day, I know you remember Mr. Like, y'all thought I was saying his name. But one day, look, she like sad. One day we were going through our divorce, and this was probably like 2 months into our separation. And he refused to see the kids. But I was the opposite of, oh, you're not gonna see my kids. Like, I knew he had a little girlfriend and everything. And I said, let me tell you something. You gonna get these children. I was working 2 jobs. I was doing fashion shows at the time. You are going to be a father to your children. So he was like ignoring my phone calls. I showed right up at Trader Joe's in the freezer section while he was stuck in that freezer with them children in that shopping cart. And one
you pull up.
I was like, oh, so you're not answering my phone call. And let me tell you how ignorant he is. He was still ignoring me, like I wasn't standing there, and the children.
What?
So I was like, listen, I've been calling you. You ignore my phone calls. He was like, I'm at work. I said, I know. I came to your workplace because you just been ignoring me.
Right.
Kindly left those children, baby. I love y'all, mommy. Love you. I gotta go to work because I'm paying the bills because he was working, but he told me that he didn't need to pay bills because he had other things that were more important than to help out with the household. So he had other things. So I needed to take care of that on my own. So because I was left to take care of all of that on my own, then guess what? But your job doesn't matter. Mine does, because mine's the one to take care of our children. Right. So therefore, you go ahead, clock out of this little $5 job you got right here, and I will see y'all later on, and left. And that's how different it was for me. So he was more pushing the children on me I'm not going to take care of them. And he was so dirty, girl. He even told the children once, because of course I had children from my first marriage. Mm-hmm. So he told some of the children, like, y'all not my real children. Y'all hear? So it wasn't a bitter baby mama, it was a bitter baby daddy. Like he was super bitter. He was. And I mean, even to this day, he's super bitter because my children haven't seen him in like almost 2 years, over a year now, because he's just bitter. So don't give me, somebody said, are you gonna have a show on bitter baby daddies? I surely am. Mm-hmm. I really am, because it needs to be addressed just like the bitter baby mama. Yeah. But the bitter baby mamas, because I am a ex-wife and because I am a baby mother, I just wanted to address it because it really breaks my heart when I see these stories on Facebook and YouTube and on the news about moms who do things spitefully. Right. To get back at the children's father, when really what she's doing is really hurting her children. I don't care how much I dislike my ex-husbands. I don't care how much they hurt me. I don't care how much they, it hurts me to even think of them, or how much, they did to me. That never changed my ability or my mind to say I'm not going to allow my children to be a part of their life.
Unless the child does not want to go with them.
And let me tell you something.
We gotta listen to our children.
Listen to your child. Yeah. Because a lot of people know my story because I tell my business all the time on Facebook because I don't care.
And we still love you.
Oh, thank you.
No judgment. No judgments going on here.
Right. But I have a daughter who suffered from separation anxiety because of that second husband. She went through separation anxiety. She went through so much, and needless to say, like, I never stopped her from being able to see her dad. She would write him 100 times a day. She would write letters to him asking him why didn't he love her anymore? Why he wouldn't come see her?
He responded.
Never. She would get on my phone and text him. And they said that she had this disorder, compulsion disorder, where she just continued to do the same thing. So she would write the same thing to him in the text messages.
Called passion. That's called love.
That is love and passion. But she would write him, and he would ignore her. And one day I called him, and I said, listen, 11 o'clock at night, I said, I'm sorry for whatever I did that really hurt you. Please don't take it out on her, because she really loves you. I mean, because they were like this. So it was like from the time she was born till the time he left, they were like this. So I said, please, if you want me to get down on my knees, I will for her. Right. And he still walked away from her.
It's not. He used that as an excuse to not deal with his responsibilities. Period.
Exactly.
Because a father, any parent that loved their child, it does not matter what the person they're with did to them. They're going to be there.
Exactly.
That's like my father leaving my mom at when I was 4, leaving her with 5 kids and moving to Hawaii and never coming back.
Oh my God, really?
And they are married. They're still married to this day, separated. Yeah, girl. So all that hoopla about and you had to get on your knees and all that stuff. He didn't even plan. He didn't plan on. His plan was to leave and never come back.
And well, this was his plan, because I'm going to make sure I make this politically correct in case you will see that. His plan was for us to be married and stay married.
Okay.
And I understand that, right? Because my plan was to be married forever. He was my absolute best friend since I was 12 years old. I really was in love with him. But what made me decide that enough was enough and it was time to go separate ways was the fact that he just failed at having at maintaining a household, you know, at the fatherly duties, at the husbandly duties, you know. So so I was like, okay, it's time to go our separate ways. And you know how sometimes in life,
I'm sorry, my shoe keep coming off.
Girl, cut it. They look good.
How one shoe always smaller than the other. Well, it might be my feet.
Don't show it down on Beyonka's Playhouse. You better go. You better.
These shoes killing me, girl. It's just this one.
That's how mine are sometimes too. But what is that? What's that?
All right, we good.
I cannot. I can't even finish. All right.
It made all that noise.
I thought it was something outside. That's why I was like, wait, what is that?
Sound like the damn shoe was eating my foot.
Y'all know we be having shoe problems, but as long as the shoe cute and if you notice the pink heels are hot, so she gotta do what she gotta do to make sure
they had on, but they oh my God, girl. But
I know y'all don't know how to behave. But all in all, like I did my part to make sure that he could see his children. And he just refused because he just was like, he wanted us to stay married. He wanted a family. He wanted us to stay. And I would have wanted that too. Anytime you can live for 7 years without having to pay bills, you driving cars, your gas is getting put in the cars. You don't have to pay for food. Your sister and your brother move in and your wife take care of them. Yeah, I would want to keep that lifestyle too. So I was just thinking, I mean, my thing was just like, you need to man up and show me that you can be a man. Like, you've been here 7 years, but they did nothing. I'm going to get you to get it together. You know? And he was just like, you know, no. Like, I swear, I don't understand it to this day, but what I do understand to this day is that he just didn't want to do that. And he moved on and found somebody he could do that stuff with. Okay. And that's fine. That's his life. But the only thing that bothers me is the fact. Yes, girl, look. Oh, did y'all see the rays just now fly up inside Chloe? She was like, me off though. Yes. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, girl. I was throwing shade because that's what I do sometimes, every now and then.
It's like when you try to uphold certain standards and morals that you think other women are going to uphold too.
Yes.
It never falls in your favor. It
doesn't.
You know what I mean? It's like
because there's always another woman out there that's willing to accept you.
Yeah, but even if she wouldn't have accepted him and he came back to you, would you have let him back?
Not at all.
Exactly, because if your first instinct is not to take care of us, I can't do shit with you. That should be your first God-given instinct as a man. I can't do shit with you.
Girl, no, listen, you gotta turn that mic, put it to your lips, and say that out loud again.
I cannot do shit with you if your first instinct as a man is not to help take care of me and mine. Because I do a lot too. It's not gonna be just him pulling, all the weight.
Exactly. And it's gotta be a 50-50, you know. But for me, people say, I've had people tell me before, like, well, that was on you because you should have, demanded that from the door. And maybe I should have, but you live and you learn. And those 7 years, even though it took me 7 years, those 7 years were spent with my best friend.
He should have known that.
I wasn't thinking, exactly. I wasn't thinking like, oh, well, let me be harsh. One thing he can't never say is I was like on him like, boy, you need to get a job. I never did that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, him being there for the children, people, just like you have a stay-at-home mom, I figured, okay, he's a stay-at-home dad. You know what I mean? And he's home taking care of the children, and he's being a dad to the children. But when I was coming home from work and the house was a whole mess and laundry wasn't done and dinner wasn't cooked and the children were locked in the room, then I was thinking like, what? Exactly, like, okay, well now this is not right. You know what I'm saying? Like now, let me go ahead and hire a nanny and you need to go get a job. And then as soon as that happened, it was like he got a job and his first couple paychecks and having a new job, he was just like, oh, I'm not going to take care of the house. I'm like, okay, well, are you going to help pay bills now that you got a job? I got more important things that I have to take care of.
And what's more important than keeping a roof over your head?
Exactly. So now, needless to say, I'm still taking care of myself because
he knew he could always prioritize somebody that would take his stuff.
Yes, and have more children. And that's just how that went.
Well, I was asked to support a man who wanted to start his own business.
You were asked to?
I was asked to support a man who wanted to start his own business. For 10 years, I worked for 10 years. And we argued because I was struggling. You know, I had my daughter when I met him. So I already had extra responsibilities. My life included another life. So,
I agree.
Like I said, they should know coming in the door. You know, and I had the same mistake because he didn't know coming in the door that this is your responsibility. It's not my responsibility for you to come in here and think you can live off of what I got so you can build your own business, which had nothing to do with me. You never asked me to go to work with you or help you with this or that, or how can I get paid as well. No, it was for him to start his own business, you know, and I was an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah.
So how we both gonna be struggling starting a new business. The new businesses are very hard the first 2 years. And
it looks for you to take that sacrifice, make that sacrifice.
And you know, I struggled with him for all of but those 10 years back and forth, and I never seen hardly a dime from any of it.
Wow.
So, exactly. And to this day, he's not helping support me. You know, so at the same token, it's like, so if I would have helped you back then, what would have been the difference? You know, it's like if they don't know it from the door, they don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't know how to really be
which is why now in 2017 it's like hard to date, because now that you've matured, well, I'm gonna say now that I've matured and you know I'm older, it's like I'm not gonna take just anything. And even if we have been friends for 20 years, it's like, okay, we've been friends for 20 years, but you know, are you willing to like go 50-50 with me, you know, and actually, you know, bring something to the table other than, you know what I mean? Because we bringing something to the table too, and you want to be technical, right? you know, so it's like, you know, it's a whole nother topic, but it is Beyonka's Playhouse. But no, honestly, so, you know, but all in all, so ladies, you know, I keep saying it, like, let go of the bitterness and the spitefulness and that anger that you're allowing to brew up inside of you, and allowing that bitterness to turn into hate. And you're hurting your children by not allowing your children to be a part of their father's lives. Let your children be a part. If you feel like, oh, he ain't shit. Oh, dang it, I forgot. I'm learning to stop saying bad words. And shout out to Tay if you're watching. I didn't forget our conversation. I'm gonna learn to stop saying bad words.
I probably help with that. I've been cussing since I've been sitting here too.
Yeah. See, Tay, it's Chloe.
Sorry, it's my first time.
Right. Look, because you know, sometimes like Monique said, you know, if it causes for those words to come out, the situation, like you need to have those words, because it's just
right. You can't be like, that boy stole that from me. You know,
girl, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's got a resonate. See, that's what I've been trying to say.
Right, no, we need to say.
Then you're gonna take it back.
Yeah. I'm a Gemini. I can do that.
Oh yes, girl.
Myself a lot.
Oh my God,
it's a good thing.
You be arguing with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Gemini.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But don't like just the whole overall goal is just stop it, ladies, because you really want your children to see him for who he is. And if you feel like this dude is just really the scum of the earth, he's a bad person. You know, some men might be bad husbands, they might be bad boyfriends, they may be bad individuals in society, but they might be some really good dads. I mean, you never know. You know, you just gotta, and them being a father could change them entirely. Them being a dad could actually change, you know, that child could have an impact on that dad's life to make him see things in a different light, to make him, you know, just want to be a better person. So allow him to be a father. And if he messes it up, see, I started to say after. But if he messes it up, I started to say if he no, but if he messes up, then that'll be his mess up. And the children will see that. Because my daughter, that went through all of those years of separation anxiety and abandonment issues and not wanting to go to school and sleeping underneath the bed and all that kind of stuff. My daughter that went through all of those things, she is 12 years old right now, and she makes me so proud of her every single day because she's allowed herself to finally come out of that shell, out of that cocoon.
She dealt with it.
Yes, and now she's like, Jamal who? Jamal what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she sees it.
Right, so if a child can deal with issues that she's hurting inside, she can deal with it and bring it to the forefront and get over it.
Yeah.
Why don't some adults just do that?
Yes.
Okay, you have reasons. Let me say something. You have reasons to be bitter. Nobody's taking that away from you. You know, he ain't this, he ain't that, he ain't helped you pay this, he ain't helped you pay. Lord knows I know. We all have reasons to be bitter.
That's why I said,
but will you let that keep affecting you the rest of your life, or will you deal with what you're feeling and or will you just swallow the situations? That's the hardest part. Swallowing the fact that I am gonna have to take care of this child the rest of my life by myself. Yeah. Just swallow it for the betterment of you and your child. God will make you stronger just from you stepping up as a woman. Yeah. And just dealing with what you got, whatever you got to deal with.
And your child will appreciate you more. Mm-hmm. I've seen, not just on TV, but even, in real life, I've seen where, moms will be mad with their children because their children have left them to go be with their father. Because their father has told them, like, oh, well, I've been trying to be around you all your life, but your mother wouldn't let me see you. Now they're 18 years old, and now they don't even really be with the mom. They're with the dad. I've seen that happen. Right. And it's a heartbreaking thing because you think, I know for me personally, I'll be thinking like, but she took care of him for 18 years.
I'm expecting that. To honestly, that I've been around, I'm gonna say my son and maybe even my daughter, I'm expecting for them to, when they get older, to reach out more and be able to express themselves more, how they feel about the situation, and be able to reach out and touch. I didn't get a relationship with my dad until we still on rocky grounds. You know what I mean? But at least I'm old enough to kind of understand where things might have gotten wrong. I still would never feel I would never leave my children, but that's something he has to deal with. He has his demons, he's dealing with them. But I still want that relationship with him. I've never lost the love for him. So I'm expecting my children to, when they get older, to reach out and if they want to go be with the other parent, that's fine. But right now I'm not keeping them hostage, but I'm where they want to be right now. Yeah. And it's for good reasons, So I'm not gonna stress to go take my child over this person's house and that person's house. And when they don't want to go, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Because I was forced into households.
You can be content with that because you're not holding them back. Like you're not holding them out. So you can be content. But once they get older, actually branching out and being a part of their days, like I expect that as well. Mm-hmm. I'm not angry about it, or I don't feel bitter about it, because I'm like, but I think, older. I want to say the only thing that bothers me just a little bit, and I'm not angry and I'm not bitter, but the only thing that bothers me is the fact that once they actually are grown, and I see this again, I've seen this many times. Once they're actually grown and they're off doing well in life, then the father gets to enjoy those moments when he did not take the time to be around those moments when they were crying and they were sick and they were in a hospital, or they were hungry, or we were homeless and we were sleeping in a car. Those moments when we really, and it goes on.
So just feeding them. Yeah. And putting clothes on their back. You run around to put them through this education that they're getting. Yeah. To be the person.
Like right now, school is about to start, and I'm just like, let me tell y'all real talk, right? This is what been burning me up for the past couple of days. I have 9 children, right? So school starting means that 9 children need school supplies. Oh, yeah. They need, books and clothes and shoes. And so when you guys are going shopping and you're going shopping for your 1, 2, or maybe even 3 children, think about this mom that has to shop for 9 children, and their fathers are literally and this is not the first year, right? So I should be used to it. But their fathers do not even think to pick up the phone and say, can I buy them some shoelaces? I could get them shoelaces, you know. If they was to do that, I would feel some shoelaces.
Something.
One of my daughters, one of my daughters goes to the Baltimore School of the Arts, and I swear everything that they got on that little form that they need for them to get is like $180. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, everything is expensive. And just to think, like, last year, I mean, again, ladies, the way I deal with it is by going to God, and I swear, God is my witness. All day long, I've been talking to him like, Lord, help me, Lord, help me, Lord, help me, Lord, help me. You know, but yeah, of course it will, of course. But, you know, just that thought, like, okay, so nobody's going to say, let me, you know, help, you know, nothing. No, yeah, like, did they eat this summer? Were they okay this summer? I know they were in the household, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's heartbreaking. And I know that you know they could get the gloves. They could get the dollar socks from the man on Pennsylvania Avenue with all of the pants. Anything, but to know that they don't take the time to do that is what bothers my skin, my soul. And it doesn't make me bitter. It just really hurts my feelings. And you know, the sad thing is they're probably looking forward to it hurting my feelings, because my ex-husbands know, like, the one thing you can do to hurt me is to do something to my children.
Yes.
You know, you can do a whole lot of stuff to me.
That's it. That's all.
I don't care. You can do a lot of stuff to me.
Maybe that's why he was treating the children so bad, is he wanted to get to you, and that's sad. He probably wanted my attention, like a child. He wanted my attention. Exactly, like an immature ass. Person. Yes. Like he was, and the sad thing is, this is just like with children. You know, you act out the wrong way, you're gonna get bad results. Because that's not the results. He should have acted out and got. And brought that paycheck home and said, you know what, how much is the rent? How much is the mortgage? How much is the gas and electric? How much is this? You know, literally. He was already moved on. He was planning some shit already moved on. A mess. A hot mess. A hot mess. So, ladies, don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. Allow your child to be in your child's father's life. Allow the children to make the decision. You know, they're children, but allow them to see for themselves. If your child is saying, Mommy, I don't want to go over there. Mommy, I don't want to be with him. That's one thing. And then sit down and have that conversation with him. You know, but if your child wants to be a part of their father's life, allow them to be there. Allow it. And don't nitpick. Don't nitpick. Don't pick with every little thing he does or every little thing he doesn't do. Like, don't do that. That nitpicking, your child sees that. And your child gonna be like, Mommy getting on daddy nerves. Mommy. Yeah, that's especially when they get old enough to realize game people. Because your child, you know, children, their number one thing is how to get over on their parents. So they study us. They study us. Right. So they know when Daddy, they know how daddy is, they know how mommy is. For the most part, they know how daddy is, even if he's not around. Right. You know? And we got too many ways for y'all to communicate with these children nowadays. We got the internet, we got Marco Polo with the videos, stuff like that. Musically, any type of way. You can call your children, you can see them every day. My daughter, my 10-year-old stays connected to her father's girlfriend's daughter through Musically. So they like talk, so they see each other, but again, she hasn't seen her own father in over a year. But she stays in contact with the father's girlfriend's daughter. You know what I mean? Oh, another thing is, my daughter, you know, her father comes to get her every now and again, but then he don't, when she's with him, he like pushes her off on the other children. And don't spend time. And she feels a disconnect with him because I'm your daughter too. I want to get, these kids already know you. I want to get to know you. But you push me off. Oh, I'm excited I got other brothers and sisters, but I need to know you. That's another thing. Oh my gosh, let me just say this. Lastly, y'all, I swear I'm gonna get off this topic because we're gonna get to talk about some other stuff. But this is another thing that'll make a woman bitter. Is when a father will come and pick his children up and then take him to his girlfriend's house and leave them with the girlfriend. Girl, oh my God. And then the girlfriend got the nerve to talk about the children's mother. And the children come back and tell their mother that you were talking about me. It's like, no, they do not. No, real talk. Like, and then you be feeling like, dang, like, or
even though you you're dating my ex-husband, or you're in a relationship with him, or you're having children by him, how does that give you the power or the privilege to speak badly about me? That will make, let me tell you something, that don't make a bitter woman. That will make you get slapped. That's what'll happen.
That make you get right up on in the grocery store with the car.
With the kids in the suitcase.
Slap with a pack of bacon.
Girl, I'm telling you, like, those are the things. So, gentlemen, just like I'm addressing these ladies, I'm addressing you gentlemen too. You know, don't do things that'll make a woman upset or bitter. Like, those are things that you should not do. Because when you pick your children up, first of all, if you don't see, oh my God, if you don't see your children, but every weekend, or let me say every other weekend, twice a month. Let's say you see your children twice a month. If you're seeing your children twice a month, then that time when you see your child twice a month, spend some time with them. Spend some time with your child.
Away from everybody you've already.
The only reason why you should not be able to spend time with your child is if you're spending time at work trying to make money to take care of that child. So if you're working and you want to, you know, spend time with that child, then that's a whole nother situation. If you know what I'm saying, you got to take your child.
You can take them to work.
Yeah, get something. You know, be able to spend time with that child, but just take them to your girlfriend and just saying, hey, girlfriend, here, take them out. I want to deal with them. You know,
but that makes me think you just trying to prove something to her.
Exactly.
She who the fuck?
Exactly.
You got that face, baby.
Oh my gosh, this the last bitter baby mama. This the last bitter baby mama thing I'm gonna talk about. I swear.
That's that face on that mean like.
No, this my daughter. She's like, like what? So I know a situation right where.
Well,
because I don't understand y'all, so I'm gonna need y'all to help me out here. So there's a baby mama, right? Her baby father has been getting her daughter every other weekend since her daughter was born 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. Every other weekend. Now, they established that 8 years ago that they would get the daughter every other weekend because the man was married.
Okay.
And he already had a wife, and the whole thing blew up. He got a wife. Well, she knew he had a wife. She knew that.
Okay.
But the wife found out, about the baby, and so they just sat down as adults, made this decision. I'm gonna pay child support. I'm gonna, support the baby. I'll get her every other weekend.
Sounds good.
And that'll be the situation. That was 8 years ago. So this person now and today, in 2017, is like, I just realized, like, I only get to see my daughter twice a month, 4 days a month. 4 days a month, I'm only getting to see my daughter. And he works like crazy. So he's like, I really would like to start getting my daughter more. Like, I'm not able to see her on holidays. Like, I'm really only getting her every 2 weeks. And it's bothering me because I really want to be around my daughter a lot more.
That's a relationship. He built a bond, and children are on loan to us. God loans us these kids. So no, your children aren't born just attached to your hip and they're gonna love you eternally. But it's more so like love is still an action word with children. You don't, when you have them, when you give birth for the mothers, and when you help make the babies for the fathers, they don't just come in this world just attached to your hip. And because if they never know you, how would they even feel about you if they saw you in the street, if that was the case?
Yeah.
So they don't come attached to your hip. So you have to really build relationships, and you have to really get to know them.
Yeah.
They're whole other human beings opposed to who you are. They're a whole nother soul.
Exactly. So the reason I speak about this as my last little bitter baby mama moment is because I personally, being a mother, having 9 children who don't have a father to pick up the phone and talk to, they don't have a father to come see them every other weekend. When I heard about the situation, it bothered my spirit because here it is, you have a father who works, Yeah. He's admitted he was wrong. He's had a child outside of his marriage. Him and his wife have mended their relationship, and they've been together, 8 years. 8 years. It's been 8 years, and now he's coming to his wife and the baby mother and sitting down talking to them, saying, "I want to be able to see my child more than just every 2 weeks." And the both of them feel like, well, since you work so much, why do you want to see her more?
Why is that question even being asked?
Can you say it to the microphone?
Why is that question being answered? Because I'm a Gemini, I can see things from different sides, okay? So I automatically thought about his side as well as hers. Their side as well as his, but maybe he's leaving the child on the wife when he leaves to go to work. So she's like, you work too much.
That is.
Why you want to get her more when you're not even home when you do get her? So that could be why the wife is saying, right?
That is. But his thing is, yes, I do work a lot because he is the sole provider for the household. So yes, I do work a lot. Okay. However, shouldn't I be able to come home from work to my daughter?
Oh, yeah.
The same way I can come home from work to my other kids, I want to be able to come home from work to her as well sometimes. So they both agreed, the baby mama and the wife, that's dumb. No, that's not happening.
Baby mama, okay. Yeah, that's
right. So
why are they in cahoots with that?
Yes!
That happens probably ain't never get along the whole time, and all of a sudden they in cahoots with keeping the child away from the
This
father.
is the thing, exactly. This is the thing that I see from the outside looking in. It's like, I can look at it in a lot of different ways too, because I've been a wife, I've been cheated on, my ex-husbands have had kids. I've even taken care of one of my ex-husband's child, moved whole situation.
That's what real women
I understand. You know what I mean? But what I don't understand is, as a woman, I could never not want my child to be a part of their father's life. Right. Even if it was a child that happened outside of my marriage, or outside of my relationship. As much, and this is the honest to God truth. My stepson, I used to see him all the time. I took him shopping. I love this little boy,
right.
One day he looked at me and I saw his mother in him, right? And I swear, y'all, I was thinking like, it hurt me. That's what I'm gonna say. That pain, I felt like hurt. And this is a little boy. And I talked about this situation one time before. It was the first time I was just like, this little boy is. No, he was a little boy. He was probably like, at this time that this happened, he was probably about 3 years old.
He just reminded you of his mom.
He reminded me of his mom, and by him, and he was laughing and playing and came and ran up to me. And that moment, he reminded me of his mom. It instantly replayed the situation in my mind. Everything that had happened, the fact that my husband slept with her, he lied about her being pregnant. The whole thing played out in my mind. So for me, it took me, what I did, and y'all might think I'm crazy, but what I did was I grabbed him and hugged him. Because
you fought that with love.
I had to get that. I had to get past that because he had nothing to do with what happened. And this was an innocent 3-year-old little boy. And so I grabbed him and hugged him. And, after that, I was good. You know what I mean? It allowed me to get past that moment. So I'm only saying that I don't know how these women feel that just can't get past that moment. But that allowed me to get past that moment. And me getting past that moment, I could never, ever think, well, if my ex-husband my husband at the time, if he wants to see his son, I'm not going to let him come over. Right. I'm not going to let him be around. Right. That could never be an option. So to me, what bothers me with this situation is no matter whether this man works a lot or not, this little girl is 8 years old. This situation is 8 years old. Why not allow this man to have his daughter home a little more? He's not saying let her move in, and even if he was,
so it sounds like to me he need to reevaluate both of them, like the wife, and it's almost like y'all if y'all not gonna come together for the bigger picture with the children,
for the better,
like why am I with y'all?
Exactly.
With you? Exactly. Why am I calling you my wife if you can't accept my child? That's my blood.
Yeah. And then I heard also that, was a statement made that, well, the other situation, like they have stepchildren too, and their stepchildren only come over when their father is present. That's not a family. That's not family. That's not love. That's not bonding. If I marry somebody, then I'm marrying that person's family. We're all together. We're all going to be one happy family. There are no stipulations on what time you can come over, what time you can't. And don't get me wrong, I'm different from everybody else, because my dad told me one time, like, girl, you just think you can just come over when you want. Yes, I do. Because
But you're old fashioned.
Yeah.
But you know family. You know what family is. A lot of people don't know what family is anymore.
That's absolutely true.
I come from a family with a lot of disconnect. My small circle, it's a small circle, but I want to break that curse of the generational curse that we aren't. I can't look forward to family reunions. I can't look forward to all the people coming to my house and having a big old dinner and stuff like that, like my nana before she passed used to do. She used to get as much of us together as she could, But those are things that what you speak on are things real family values.
Yeah.
And back in the day, Black people, we had families, and it consisted of the other girlfriend, the other baby mama, the baby mama, the father. It consisted of all that. Uncle Harry might have had a baby with cousin Lucy, in marriage, of course, not blood. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, to talk, like, even now, and y'all know, again, I don't care if I'm about this, but in my family, I started this thing called a family dinner every Sunday, right? I wanted to do Sunday. I'm so close to my family. It's only my immediate family here in Baltimore. We're originally from Greensboro, North Carolina. Okay. So having just my mom and my brothers and my dad.
Shout out to North Carolina.
Shout out to North Carolina.
Hey, Tequila.
Oh, hey, Tequila. And all my cousins are down there. Everybody, definitely shout out to North Carolina.
Yeah.
But so we definitely come from that Southern hospitality where everybody is family. So I said, well, let's do family dinners, and that was so big to me to do family dinners. I have a lot of children. My older brother has a lot of children, but their wives, the situation just turned out to where one day my dad was like, no more family dinners because of all of the drama that was happening. And y'all know me, like, I smile about everything. I don't care. Like, oh, okay, you mad? Okay, keep it moving. Where's the cornbread? You know what I'm saying? But my dad and my mom was just like, no, this is too much. And they stopped family dinners. It hurt me more that we couldn't have family dinners than anything. So I literally just started doing family dinners with my own children. Nice. And what I decided was, Akira, I had to tell myself, Akira, it's not going to be until your children are grown and they have their children that you have that big, humongous family dinner that you dream about, because you're just not going to have that with the family that you have right now, because unfortunately, some of the people involved in the situation don't know family, and don't know that a family is supposed to be bonded. I had one of my brother's ex-wives tell me one time, y'all relationship is too close. What? That's my brother. Like, what do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, it's a lot of disconnect. But, unfortunately, it is what it is. However, the beauty in life is that you can move on and keep it moving and just make sure that you live your life the way you want to live it. And with that situation that I was just talking about, I wanted to talk about that real quick with you, Chloe, because I wanted to see how you felt, because I was like, maybe it's just me, but I think that's the most insane shit I ever heard. Is that you would say that, no, my child can't be, no, don't bring your child over because,
and that's because of bitterness, then that's definitely wrong. That's so wrong.
I don't even know if it's bitterness, craziness, sadness, anger, what it is, because it's two women, you know what I'm saying? And it's two women that have been put in a situation that they didn't ask to be in. However, 8 years ago, they could have both made the decision on whether or not they wanted to deal with the situation or not. Again, that goes into having a child. When you have a child, you can't determine what's going to happen with that child's father or that person that you have that child with. However, once you have that child, you have to accept the responsibility of now having to build a relationship with that other person. And if you can't do that, there's a certain thing called the courts. where you can just go ahead and have the courts deal with the situation. And it's heartbreaking to know. For me, I'm doing a whole documentary on it and everything called The Unloved Love Child. Aww. And yes, because it really hurts me to my heart.
That's gonna be a nice one.
Yeah. So I put out there the other day, if anybody wanted to share their stories and have a piece in this documentary, it's called The Unloved Love Child. And it's about children that are created out of wedlock, pretty much, out of, adultery, or just out of, being the other woman's child, so because there's so many children that, are born that way. And it
goes back to the bitterness, the hurt we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because both of those women are still carrying around a form of hurt that they have not let go of.
Oh yeah.
The one that thought she could have a baby by the man and he was gonna marry her or leave the other one, she's dealing with that. And then the one who was married to him is dealing with like you said, always remembering how the child was conceived and what happened and how she felt.
Because that was brought in the conversation. In the conversation about him wanting to keep it, see his child, that was brought up in that conversation. Let's not forget how she was created.
That's petty.
That was 8 years ago. That was 8 years ago. And this is one situation that's probably a million situations across the world where children are suffering because they can't be with their father or they can't be with their mother because of how they were created, when it was not that child's fault. Right. So now that child has to grow up with that stigma. And that's so sad. So you know what Beyonka gonna do? She's gonna tell y'all all about it, and she's gonna go put everybody on blast. And I'm gonna do this whole documentary and make people aware of what it is that they're doing. When you made the decision to stay with that person, you made the decision to deal with that situation. When you made the decision to lay down with that person, you made the decision to deal with that situation. When you made the decision to give birth to that child, you made the decision to deal with that situation. Why punish the child? Why punish the child?
The children are our future.
Yeah.
If you cannot put your self-righteous bullcrap to the side for that child, then how are you going to help the future? Because they are the future. Like, you can't go around just using your excuses and what you've been through to affect a child. Exactly. Because one thing, that child is going to remember how you treated them.
Yes.
But you don't want a child, or another child in this earth, another black child in this earth, feeling insecure and feeling sad and feeling like nobody
and
not
wanted and not wanted. And that's the worst thing.
So be part of that.
And that's why I'm doing a documentary. Exactly for what the reason that the things you just said. I don't think that people understand when the woman or the man, the damage that you're doing to a child. We already grow up as being black in America. I mean, God, we already see what's going on today in Virginia. So being black in America is already hard, and we already suffer from this identity crisis of, are we the right color? Are we too dark? Are we too light? How does our hair look? We already, as women, we're already going through all of these different phases. So now we're going through these different phases, and the people who we love the most, the people who we are supposed to be loved by the most, are the ones that are making us feel like, the adults are making us feel like, are making these children feel like they're not wanted, they're not loved. Just to know, now this child is old enough to understand, I get to see my parent 4 days out of the week, every 2 weeks. Wow, well, I wonder why I can't see him every day. Or I wonder why I can't get to see him every week. Things like that. So that documentary, The Unloved Love Child, is definitely coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. So we done had a whole probably hour conversation about this bitter baby mama thing. And I hope you guys really, take heed to some of the things that I said. I can't wait to read the comments. I hope you guys have been commenting and telling me how you feel about it, because I would love to know. But right now, before we go any further, I want to get to know Miss Chloe outside of the bitter baby mama stuff a little bit more. So Miss Chloe, let me just give you the chance to just take the wheel and introduce yourself formally to everybody in Beyonka's Playhouse.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Chloe Blue. I am an actress. I sing. I write like crazy. I love writing so much. I can sit down and write 90 pages straight.
Oh my God, can you write a book?
It's amazing. I could.
I've been writing this book for 2 years, and I keep balling it up.
How much do you have?
And throwing it away. So listen, I was writing it the old-fashioned way. I was actually writing it out right. Because
that's what I do.
Really?
I do, yes.
So I've written it probably about 5 or 6 times. And got into like maybe, and I've been doing I was doing chapters. So the last time I got to chapter like 6, and then threw it all away.
Okay.
So I know, right?
Don't ever do that, because I'm gonna tell you why. Even though if you don't want to use it, you'll find use for it later. And
really,
yeah, because some things your mind stores stuff.
You know why I throw it away?
You know what I do when I write? I write whatever comes to mind first. Even if it sounds like a bunch of mixed up whatever, you know, it might not be a story, a line, or beginning or end, but I write down everything that's in my mind about that subject or what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
And then I start putting it together, and it's like main topics you can pick out of. Like each chapter will become, you can pick a main topic out of everything you just brainstormed on.
Okay.
And each chapter in your book can be just a main topic from that. It don't have to be put together.
And I was fearful though that I lose stuff a lot, especially paper.
Okay.
So my biggest fear was that it would get out and then somebody would like see it, and then they would try to use it. Well, then after that, I started typing on the computer. So then I started deleting.
The same thing.
I was like, oh my God, what if somebody gets in my computer?
That's actually worse.
So even the title, because I haven't told anybody the title, I had like made this, you know how you just like make the cover, like I had designed this cover and everything. And I was like, no, I'm not going to use that. Girl, deleted everything. And so today, literally, it's funny that we're talking about this. Today, I literally started writing again. And when I started writing it, I was really flowing. I was in my emotion anyway. So I was really going, flowing. And I said, you know what, this time, Akira, just write everything you want to write and stop, being fearful, because it's my life story, right? Okay. So I've been fearful because it includes a lot of pain, a lot of things, a lot of people. I just was like, stop holding back, and it is what it is. Like once you finish this time, just go ahead and find that one person to critique it, look over it, and then you're gonna do that. God is my witness. This is what I said today, because people have been saying like, when is the book coming out? When is the book coming out? And I'm like, I was just so fearful about writing it.
It doesn't always have to come out as a life story. You can have it come out. Maybe I shouldn't say this on camera, but just have it come out as like a fictional character. It don't have to be your life story. So people won't know it's your life story.
Let me tell y'all something about God and Chloe, right? Because she is creeping me. She came into my life like just like a storm. Like all of a sudden one day my inbox was full of Chloe, and I was like, where did you come from? But what's crazy is that is how I'm writing it. I decided to write it. You got to edit. Oh my God! Or both, live or both. Y'all didn't hear that. Hopefully y'all wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I got some other ways you can.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's so crazy that you said that, because I think that's what made me. I said that'll probably make me comfortable. Yeah. Instead of me feeling like me, like I'm like she, her. Right. Yeah. Okay.
I got it.
Yeah. Oh, she's so stuck with me now, y'all. Y'all don't even know.
She's not getting rid of me.
Yes. So, okay, go ahead, tell us more about your writing.
Yeah, so I write songs. I write music. I write plays, movies. It's crazy, y'all. Like my writing is insane. And like I was telling you, the reason I'm able to write 90 pages in one sitting, like I won't get up until I feel like I released everything on that paper. Because sometimes my brain will fill up. And I have to release everything that's going on in my brain on that paper. And especially if it's like an idea about a movie, and I have the movie in my head from front to finish, and I'll just sit there, 100, 120 papers just writing, and my fingers won't get tired. It's funny because I can braid hair, and I can do 2 braids, and my fingers are like I'm like, no, I hate braiding hair. But when I'm writing, like it's like, and it looks like chicken scratch. It looks like how doctors write.
Oh,
So you would never be able to really read it. And I'm the only person that can read it. So then I have to type it, of course. But that's what I was saying. You dump it all out on paper. Then you go back and then you find what you want to start and finish with, what you want to be in the middle. Then you start organizing it, right?
Yeah.
Because you got all your words down. You know,
see, I'm different. My hands cramp so quickly.
well,
Right.
then you can, but then that's where
That's what made me
like me come in.
Yeah.
Where you would just sit and talk, and we can record it, and you would just tell your story, and then if when I'm over, since you don't want it out, we can just do it while we're here, and you can just tell your story, and I can just be writing.
Girl,
So
let me tell you how I tried to go to Best Buy and buy something to do that, and the man was like, "What?" I was like, "You don't have something I can speak in it, right?" And he's like, "No."
wait a minute.
I was nothing. He said no. I went to Best Buy and I said, "Isn't it something?" He was like, "I could just get a recorder," but I said, "Well, don't you have something that I could speak into and then write everything down that I'm saying so that it print it out?"
Siri doesn't.
He told me to try Siri, but Siri don't. Siri be like, "What was that? Say that again."
Yeah, keep repeating.
Yes. I'm sorry, Akira. I didn't get that. I'm like, "Siri, I know you heard me."
You want Siri be going ahead?
We be beefing. Look, you ever tell Siri you can't stand her? I'm like, "Siri, I swear I can't stand you." She's like, "I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that." I'm like, "Oh, Siri is so."
Did you hear about the kids? Well, I think it was some type of corporation. I don't know if it was IBM or one of them computer companies, right? They took two computers and they made them talk to each other, right?
Really?
Yes. They made one ask questions and one answer questions, and then they started talking in their own language because computers think that English is such a complex language. Say like if I tell you I'm gonna need to get you can you go get me 5 apples, right? They'll just say, "Can you go get me an apple? Can you go get me an apple?" 5 times, but real fast. If that makes sense. Computers.
Yeah, wow.
"Can you go get me an apple? Go get me an apple. Go get me an apple."
Oh my
and
gosh.
It starts to sound like gibberish. So the computers were talking back to each other in some other language, in this language, and they got scared and they kind of just shut the whole thing down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, girl. So I was like,
oh,
right.
Yes, it's like a match made in heaven. I'm so happy that God put you in my life.
I'm happy to be in your life.
Yes, thank you. So when did you start writing music?
Recently.
Okay.
Yeah, I was inspired by a couple people, Jamal and Juan. They know they are, and yeah, it was like, I can write so well. I was like, maybe I should just and I sing, so maybe I can see how I can put those two together and make something of it. Because when you have a bunch of talents, like I have a bunch of talents that sometimes people are like, "Wow, you do that too, and it's like, it gets like, "Oh," and then they'll start saying, "Well, you're a jack of all trades." I don't like that term because it's a master of none. If you're a jack of all trades, you're a master at none. And my thing with that is, I'm a jack. I'm not a jack of all trades. I just have a bunch of talents.
Yeah.
But when they come together, that's what's gonna make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And then you try to find that medium, that silver lining in between all your talents, so you can just experience them all, because you really dearly appreciate all your talents. And that's what I do. Like, I'm trying to find that medium, and entertainment industry is that medium. But it's like, to get my foot in the door, I started out acting, doing theater plays.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's no microphones. You just on stage and you belting out songs and you singing. And you have to remember it's live like this.
Yeah.
So you have to remember what your lines are and stuff like that. You know. So that on top of it's a difference between.
Oh my God. You are. Oh my God, you I swear. Y'all ever see somebody kidnap a person and make them their best friend and they ain't even asked to be the best friend? What I'm doing right now while she's talking, I swear. Okay, that's awesome. So how old were you when you first did your first theater play?
Oh, it was 2008. That was 9 years ago.
Oh,
I don't want to
okay.
give my age.
Oh, then don't give your age then. I thought you were going to say like 13.
It's like
But
no, actually, I used to dance when I was younger.
Okay,
Yeah, I used
okay.
to dance in dance groups. Cherry Hill Charettes, shout out to them. I love y'all. Marching band, Cherry Hill Charettes. We were awesome, man. Woo.
Oh
We
my.
used to get it. And
Did y'all do the competitions down on at cause see we used to
Yeah,
what was it, the Elks? That's the only time I really saw the marching bands when they used to come down to the Elks Lodge on Mackin, like by the firehouse in West Baltimore.
Yeah, we were over west. We did the competitions over with the West Siders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh okay. Oh okay.
Oh yeah, we were.
That's the only time I really saw.
That's how, as a young child in public housing in the projects, we got around. They were our outlet. Like they helped young children. Like I'm forever grateful for Miss Barbara and Tony and them, you know, because they helped me get out of my situation and experience the world a little bit. We went to Manhattan, we went to New York, we traveled.
Oh wow.
You know, so it wasn't like we stayed in Baltimore doing these things. We actually had a good name for ourselves out there, and one of the best bands ever. So,
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, claim it.
Right. So, and then in high school, I did modern dance, you know, and then, so I was always on stage. Okay. I have a story. I have a story that I tell everybody. When I was about 7, I was my music teacher picked me to go on stage and sing this blues song. And shout out to Marquilla, Quilly. She was
like her name.
Yeah, beautiful soul. She was gonna do the song with me. We both had I had the first verse, she had the second. And I was 7, and at that time I wasn't my most confident. Yeah. You know, it took years to build it. So when I was on stage, I froze. Like when the song came on, and I know my music teacher was just looking at me like, come on, you can do it. And I'm like, no. And the song was St. Louis Blues.
Oh, wow.
And, but now you asked me to sing, girl, I'm a singer.
I was just about to say, girl, sing it. Dang, that was good, girl. Go ahead, sing it.
All right, I don't think I remember all the words. St. Louis woman with her diamond ring. Wait a minute, yeah. Go ahead. Horsemen around by her apron strings. Okay. I got the St. Louis blues, just as blue as I can be. Yeah, that was my girl. I'm telling you. That man's got a heart like a rock cast in the sea. Yeah. And then we had to rock on the stage and stuff. Like we had it all planned out. Like my teacher was awesome. And I froze because I was looking at all my peers in the audience, and I was like, and my mother said, she just told me this. She said, I can't do this. Can you come get me? I said, but Ma, I said that. She was like, yeah, but you didn't move. I was like, my body, I remember it, like my body would not move.
Oh my God.
So I had stage fright. And after that, I vowed to myself never to, when I get on stage, never to be scared again. Because that was like very hurtful. My teacher, she believed in me, and I let her down. And it was my chance to prove myself to my peers. And, you know, I used to get bullied a lot. So, yeah, that's a whole nother.
So we're gonna bring you on the voice of children suffering in silence, girl.
I suffered in silence,
girl. You don't always put that in, but seriously,
bullying is not.
We did a show on bullying a couple months ago on the voice of children suffering in silence, because I think like that week we did it like a kid that killed himself, you know, from being bullied. I know. So that's like such a touchy subject, you know? Yeah,
and it made me stronger though. Like, it made me stronger.
It does. It definitely strengthens you. I was bullied by a whole community.
That's okay. All right, we'll get on that later.
Girls, I feel you.
Yeah, I didn't go through like trying to play the victim though. Like, if anything, I made it something that I was proud of because I learned how to fight crazy. Like, it was crazy. And it was like, like not until like 10 years ago, I stopped fighting. Like I learned to like talk more about what I was feeling than to use my fists, you know, because in Baltimore, I think people are so quick to fight. You know, but it's like, and you always got to be on point. You always got to be ready. You always got to be ready. You know what I mean?
You do.
And it's like, I know I still got it because, like, I went to kickboxing. My coach, shout out to Coach Mark Moore. He always called me like, "Come on back, Chloe. We miss you." Like, yeah, you was one of my toughest, or whatever. So I know I still got it. But I don't. It's never been something I was proud. Like, I never liked fighting. Like, you had to really push me hard to fight.
I just was telling my daughter's like, "Ma, you can't fight me going. Let you shed a tear." You know the fist is coming.
So bullying is
wow, it isn't.
But so that was my first time on stage, and I always said I would never be scared again. And ever since then, I've just been going for every opportunity that's been open, and I've been going for it. You know. I haven't really landed the break-in one yet, but I'm still pushing. You know,
girl, this the break on Beyonka's Playhouse. What she playing for? No, but seriously, yes, girl, yes. Let me tell you something. Bianca is gonna be moving. You hear me?
And I'm your sister.
Oh, thank you.
From day one.
You really did. You really did. So y'all know I gotta tell y'all real quick before she even keep going. When I decided to do Beyonka Studios, it was honestly like a Monday, and I was thinking, I was feeling just really, really down about having to, step away from what I was already used to and what I had became accustomed to, which was doing Beyonka's Playhouse in a radio station. And, Beyonka's Playhouse had a whole Beyonka's Playhouse team. Well, I'm going to say Beyonka's Playhouse clique. And so I knew that if I stepped out on my own, that I would literally be stepping out on my own and having to say goodbye to that whole world, But I never felt like I fit in that world. So I felt like, Akira, this is your moment. God is pushing you. God is pushing you. You need to go ahead and branch out and do this. And so I literally drug it on you guys. Like, Monday, I was like, oh, maybe not. No, I'm just going to go ahead and stay. And I'm going to stay in this place with these people. So I did a couple different things, right, to make a decision. But that Wednesday, I know the days by heart, y'all. That Wednesday, I got an inbox from somebody that kind of made me say, like, okay, dang it, I'm going to have to step out on my own, or I'm going to have to just not do it at all anymore. Yeah, it was like that breaking, like either you're going to step out on your own, or you're going to just stop doing it altogether. And out of nowhere, Chloe, like, inboxed me and says, I can't quote the message verbatim, but what I can tell you is that the message pretty much said, like, I'm watching you. I've been watching you for a long time. I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. And, you just are inspiration to me. And I was like, that's what I remember, because I was like, inspiration, girl, I'm falling apart over here. What do you mean? And it was so touching to me because I had never met this lady. I never had a conversation with her before. And I went, when somebody inboxes, how we go to their page to see if there's a crazy person or whatever, right? So I went to her page, and it blew my mind even more because it was this real person. It wasn't a computer glitch, it was a real person, this beautiful woman. I saw she had children. I saw she was an actress. I saw she was a model. And I was thinking, like, she is encouraging me, and she's been watching me, like, and how would she know to tell me in this moment, when I'm at that moment, that I have to make or break? What am I going to do? I'm either going to stay with this situation, I'm going to let it all go, I'm going to, step out on my own. What am I going to do? And in this moment,
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, whenever you get a feeling to reach out and talk to somebody or help them or lend some good words to them, do it. Don't hold back, because you just never know who you might help.
Who
you might inspire, because you did inspire me, and you still do. So
thank you. Oh my God, she's just so sweet. I swear. Oh my God. And you really, like, it makes me so emotional every time I think about it, because I'm like, I mean, I'm trying, y'all. I had to let go of so much on that day, you know, like it just broke my heart. I had to let go of a friend of 20 plus years, you know, in relationships that really meant something to me. And I had all of those people in that moment just pretty much saying, you know, F me, you know, like just down talking me, down talking what I was doing, you know, disrespect me, and just really, it was, I'm telling y'all, I didn't go on Facebook and say I'm going through this. I didn't go and call anybody, you know, and say I'm going through this. And I didn't even pray in that moment. This is God honest truth. And I guess this is why you know, God, I know God is real, because I call on God about 375.6% of the day, right? Thank you, Lord. And in that moment, I was so broken that I didn't even call on him yet. But you came to my aid, and she was in my inbox, and she was inspiring me, and you are. So it's like, you know, I just feel like I even put her picture up on the wall. Producer, real quick, producer, real quick, show them her picture up on the wall real quick, producer. I even look, the D is gone, y'all, but the legends still there. But I even put her picture up on my wall of legends, because that day I had to go out. No, that Friday I had to go out and create Beyonka Studios, and while I was creating Beyonka Studios,
called me. I think I told you that if you'd have called me, I'd help you decorate.
Yes,
good again. You did a great job.
Thank you. I know blue for Chloe. Let me tell y'all, because y'all know Beyonka's Playhouse is red, right? But because you know, it was Chloe blue, and you know, I was like, signs mean things to me. So I was like, you know, it's Chloe blue. You know, blue used to be one of my favorite colors. At the time, my eyes were blue. So I went ahead with the blue color, because I was like, let me just change the whole format, because this is me entering a whole new journey. And then a lot of people were like, why'd you put studios instead of Playhouse?
You know what?
But
you know what? I mean,
blue
also means, on a chakra level, it means voice your voice. It means you have to be heard. It means you it means you know, because you reach different levels of your chakra.
Yeah.
This is ultraviolet. This is like the all-knowing of yourself.
Wow.
But right here is like the next step from all knowing yourself. It's just like you're going to start talking more, explaining like you're doing. It's almost like you're falling. And so blue has a lot of meaning, and it's a happy color.
Yes, it is.
My favorite color is actually turquoise, which is blue and green.
Okay.
But blue is
I even added the little blue flowers in here. I still kept red a little bit, because I wanted to keep the originality of Bianca. Yes. But I knew like blue just was so, it does, and it looks gorgeous. Y'all see that? So I even ordered the blue microphone.
And you can still put like red decoration.
I know. I said I'm still bring red into it a little bit. This is just my temporary studio, so, and it's my favorite place to be. But once I do the actual studio, it's definitely gonna have red and blue in it, because they both mean something. Big old studio that God get ready to bless you with. Yes, girl. Big old studio. Yes, girl. Oh my goodness. I cannot either. I have just been thanking God for it in advance. Like, Lord, thank you, because I know it's coming. So my producer keeps stepping out of here, so I can't introduce who I want to introduce, but can my second producer, I just need you real quick. Can you see my second guest over there in that camera? Can you see the second guest? No, so could you? I know you can in that one. But listen, so I have another guest who's in the studio right now, and this is not his night to shine. However, he is here, and I do want to acknowledge him before we go into the second conversation real quick, because I do want to know his expertise. But this is Mr. Frazier. Yes, I was going to say So let's show him to the ladies and gentlemen. He will be coming on the Playhouse to do his full interview with me, Beyonka, and they're gonna switch seats because she's coming back to them too. But he will be coming to do his full interview, because he has a lot going on in his life today. Shout out to him for doing the AFRAM. I'm so proud of him, because you got up there on that stage in front of all those people in Baltimore City, even though they got things flying through the air, you didn't have to duck or nothing, did you? You got up there and sang for them. You know, I believe music is so healing. It's awesome that they did go ahead and do the AFRM this year because music just brings, you know, something out of people that, you know, pure is good. Yes, it does.
It's vibration.
It is.
Vibration. And he, you know, he raps gospel, and that's like very rare.
Yes.
And he does it good off the top of his head too. So.
Oh, you freestyle.
Yes.
Oh my! Wait.
Yeah, I teach you.
Producer, can you
he teaches freestyling. He teaches the art of freestyling to kids.
Oh, okay. So where do you teach? Do you have like a?
I taught at Arundel Elementary School last semester. Arundel Elementary School in Cherry Hill.
Okay.
So it was so awesome because it was back to my roots, to my family from there. One third of my family's from there. So one of my, I spoke and I said, I bet you one of these kids is my family members, and one of the girls in the classroom was my cousin Ryan Frazier, well Ronald Frazier's daughter.
Oh wow!
So it was awesome. So when I brought my daughter there, my daughter was able to be her cousin. So that was awesome. And then I lived seeing her at my brother's graduation. So it was just amazing. The whole thing was just amazing.
Yeah,
and then the principal was my cousin.
Get out of here! Oh my god!
The principal was my cousin.
Wow.
The Johnson's family.
Well, I'll be at Augusta Savage Institute of Arts, which is a high school in Baltimore. It's it's attached to Harlem Park Elementary, so I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. But I'll be setting up another classroom in there to do a lot of different things with the kids. You know, working with the voice of children suffering in silence and things like that. And maybe that's something you could bring to that school as well, because that would really be awesome.
Yeah, because I actually experienced that type of situation when I was 6. So whenever you have a show about that, I can.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, the Voice of Children Suffering in Silence is a kid's show. So what I do is I allow the children to bring on people who, you know, adults, you know, of course, again, children learn from adults.
Right.
So I believe, in my mind, you know, if adults come to a children's show and actually take that time to like tell them, like, yeah, I went through this. You know, I experienced that as a child, you know, and this is how I dealt with it, and let me help you deal with it. So let me give you
talking about mentors too, right?
Yes, I'm doing the mommy mentors. I'm so excited about the mommy mentors. Yes, I am too, because it's what I've always wanted to do. So I was a mentor and did the mentoring for young women in foster care and group homes for about 6 years. And and all my clients, still my babies. I have 2 of them who are having babies right now. I know, right? Shout out to Santera. My Puka is having a boy. And my baby Shantae, she's having a boy. And they were previous clients who are now my kids. But so it was an awesome experience. But when I first started, from the very first day, the shout out to Derek Jones, rest in peace to him. He came to me and he's like, you know, I heard you like kids and I heard you have kids. So I'm like, I do. I was like, well, who told you about me? Like, is this a joke? Because we're in the supermarket. And he was like, yeah, I heard about you. And
he rolled up on you.
And I was like, is this him trying to get my phone number, or is he serious? Like, is that a pickup line? Right. But this man was amazing. And he said, please come down to my office. I have a lot of girls that I need help with. And, you know, I heard you like working with girls that have kids. So I only got girls that either had kids or were having kids. And those were the girls that I counseled. So I said, okay, well, what I'm going to do is branch off and open up my own, you know, mentoring company, which will just be for young mothers. And then somebody's like, no, you need to help homeless women and children. I said, okay, well, I'm going to do that too. And I kind of got stuck in that place for a couple of years of just helping homeless women and children. But I never had any women or children that were under like the age of 21.
Those are the ones that.
And that's what I really want. I mean, I want to help everybody. You know, I love everybody, but I really want to help.
Yeah, if you can reach the kids, you'll make it better for the next generation. Like,
exactly.
You know, you can reach
girl,
the kids
you
now,
feel
like,
my zone. That's how I feel. Like, even with the Voice of Children Suffering in Silence,
right.
It's like if we can reach the children in all aspects. So through the Voice of Children Suffering in Silence, through Just Mommy and Me, through Just Daddy and Me, you know, through Rebuilding the Village Talk Show.
I feel like children should have classes on credit.
Yes.
And all of that stuff.
Even in the hospital, my goal, and it's my goal, but it's gonna happen. is to be able to have Just Mommy and Me classes in every hospital, so that when women have children, if they're between the ages of 12 and 21, they actually have to take this Just Mommy and Me class. And if they take the class and they choose to have a mentor, then they leave the hospital not just with a new baby, but with a mentor who will be with them to help them for like, maybe the first 6 weeks or 6 months. Either way, go home with someone, because I mean, you guys can Google it. It's unfortunate, but there are times when girls go home from the hospital with their baby not knowing what to do, and so they decide to just either put them, out in the trash can, put them in a microwave. There's a story where a mother put a baby in the dryer,
What does that have something to do with mental issues, or maybe postpartum?
I'm about to say postpartum is real. We go through so much when we have children. Like when our bodies are. I always joke and tell people when I got pregnant, I'd be like, yeah, I have an illness now. Because when you get pregnant, you get morning sickness, you get night sweats, you have hives. Some women have hives. You go through all these different problems physically, but nobody really addresses the mental. So I read a story when I was 19 about a young lady who had 2 babies, and she went home from the hospital, and one of the children was like 2, and then she had the new baby. And her friends hadn't seen her in like a couple of days. So one of her friends decided to just go knock on the door, see what was going on. And when they knocked on the door, she didn't answer. So they ended up calling the police, got the police to go in the house. She was sitting on the couch. She had put the 2-year-old in the dryer and put the baby in the microwave. And both of them had been deceased. And all of her friends started coming forward to the news and saying, wow, she kept saying she needed help, but I kept telling her, like I was in school, or one friend was like, well, they were all teenagers, and here it is, this girl, went home telling people that she needed help. Like, I will never forget that story, telling people that she needed help, and nobody helped her. Not saying that it was those people's responsibilities, but I believe that it's the hospital's responsibility to make sure that that person that's leaving with a baby is going to be okay. They're mentally strong enough that, you make sure that they're physically well, but are you making sure that they're mentally well to leave the hospital with that baby? Postpartum depression is real. So, maybe I'm taking too much on my own plate, but that's why I'm starting the mommy
one thing at a time.
And
it'll all, like I said about having multiple talents, it'll all come together.
I believe it will. I believe it will. It's certain things that we do when we do a lot of different things. Some things like I owned a daycare center for years, stuff like that. Like, oh, okay, that was cute. Like that wasn't my passion though.
But the thing you learned.
I definitely learned. I definitely did. But I think the things that we're like most passionate about are the things that we stick with. And those are the things that, like come together full circle. Like, okay, well, Dick, I'm gonna have to stop doing it right now, but I want to do it again. So the mentoring is one of those things for me. I had to stop doing it when I stopped in 2015. Okay. My clients in 2015 were driving me crazy. I know you're probably watching right now. I was like, I need a break because this is too much. They were older. They actually were all aging out. So I was like, maybe I can age out, the system with them or something.
Finding a way out.
I was trying to find a way out. And then Derek, again, rest in peace to him. He's so awesome. Was such an awesome guy. I went to the office literally to fuss with him because I was so angry about the clients and I had been calling him and he was ignoring me. So I went to the office to fuss like, Derek, I cannot take this no more. And then I got to the office and my supervisor was like, he's in a coma. And life stopped for me. Like, I just like, what? You never think so for me, everything ended right there. I was not able to go back to work after that. I was not able to work with anybody else after that. It was just like, I couldn't get past like, what do you mean? Like how could he be, and that night, the next night he passed away. And so that was the end of that journey. I was like, I'm going to have to stop and I'm going to have to revamp. So I know it's 2017. Somebody might be saying like, it's 2017 now. You should be okay now. But now is where I'm like taking my time to get back into it. And that's why I took the time to think of what I wanted to do, vamp the program, and like put it all together. And then, and I'm taking his advice. Something we probably don't do when somebody give us advice and they're alive, and we just be like,
right.
I'm like, you think you know everything, Derek. Oh my gosh. But now everything he said to me, I'm like,
you remember?
You know what? I'm gonna do it like he told me to do it this time. This time around in his memory because I love him so much. But
shout out to Derek Jones.
Shout out to Derek Jones.
Oh,
y'all might, you good? Y'all might know him as Ooh Fish. He Brown Fish, I think. He was a rapper as well. He
a poet?
Yeah.
Ooh.
He had
did he used to do the poetry clubs?
Yeah.
Okay, he did poetry.
Yeah. And he did
Where was he from? What school he went to?
Oh, I don't know what school he went to. I ain't know that long.
All right, so it was him. It was who else was on it?
Jive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One of them went to Marble, right?
B-Fly.
B-Fly, yeah.
He went to Marble. One of them went to Marble, brown skin guy.
It might have been him.
Poetry club. Was Derek Johnson dark
Derek
skin?
Jones.
Does he dark skin?
No, that's Jive. Jive is dark skin and skin.
I think Derek might have been the brown skin one. Then.
Yeah, he's brown skin. Well, he was brown skin, yeah.
Real nice, handsome guy.
Yeah.
I believe that's the one. I used to watch his poetry all the time. Oh, he was great.
Yeah, he became a school teacher as well. And he
oh
yeah, he was really. He was the fun, I mean, I know people say this all the time, like, somebody passed, like, how could he die? Like, I was so stuck on, like, how could this happen? You know what I mean? Because he was, like, always, I was going to fuss with him because I knew he would make me feel better. I knew it was plenty of times I went in that office and was like, that's it. I cannot deal with it anymore. And he'd be like, girl, sit down, let's talk about this. Like, and just, it'd be okay afterwards. So I was really having one of those moments where my client really did have me on edge. Like, I was like, I cannot take it no more. And I wanted to,
and then
just had that moment.
That meme that be like, are you dead? Did you die?
Yeah, like,
because now you see that he died.
And I was really zapping out.
Yeah.
So it was, exactly. And then, he had this, saying save the babies, like we gotta save the babies, So and save a dope boy. He had a save a dope boy thing. Yep. He had the hat.
I know about that movement.
Yes, I know. The save a dope boy. Yeah, Derek was just so awesome. So it was so hard. It's been so hard, like to just be able to step back into that field and just feel okay. I don't know, like because I wouldn't have been in that field in that way if I didn't meet him. You know what I mean? Like exactly. And I always wanted to do something to help kids. So that's how he found out about me because somebody told him like she's out here taking kids in her house. Yeah. Like she needs to do it professionally. Right. So when he met me, he was like, I heard you taking kids in and you got people living with you. And at the time I had like 3 people living with me. I was like, yeah. He was like, come to my office so you can get paid for this. He's like, let me help you do this in a better way.
What's that movie? It was like set in the 1960s and then it was like the woman, she was taking everybody in her house. Black woman. It was a black movie. And her husband was Terrence Howard, but he was always cheating on her. And she
Terrence Howard.
Yeah, and then she was like the mother of the house, and she took everybody in, and it was a bunch of drama going on. Now
I'm gonna have to find
everybody together.
I'm gonna have to find it.
I gotta find out what her name was, and I'll let you know. But that reminds me of her. And she man. I
even started taking in my clients. Yeah, like I love helping people. I love to be able to. I mean, I hate to see people hurt, especially mothers. The first person I ever had move in my house was a mother. Like I had my house. I got my first house in May. By July, I had 3 women with children living in my house. And it was a 3-bedroom with me and my 3 kids. And I already had 3 other families living with me because they all needed a place to go. So, and I wasn't going to just see them out on the street, So I've always had that in my heart, that passion to help people. And so when I met Derek, it was a blessing. He taught me so much, and his spirit was just so amazing. And just, I don't know, it was just amazing. So definitely shout out to Derek Jones and his wife, his family, not his wife, but his family, all of them, and his daughter. They all, some beautiful people. And that was just one of those people that God definitely had come to this earth to give us all a little bit of something, because I remember his funeral. Not one person had anything bad to say. Everybody had like these awesome stories. And I felt like my story was the most awesome, but everybody had awesome
So you got up there?
Yeah, I got up there. I know. And I never get up to speak at a funeral. But for him, I just felt like people needed to know, because for me to have the professional position that I had, you know, of course I could do it behind the scene. And I think I was comfortable with doing it behind the scene, because here I am, this woman that got tattoos, and you know, I talk how I want to talk. You know, I do things the way I want to. I'm one of those people like, oh, well, this is me and this is what it is. Exactly. And so I even said to him when he asked me, I was like, you know, I'm not changing myself to go and put on those suit and tie stuff. He was like, man, come down to that office on Charles Street and stop playing with me. And you know, he taught me how to be me in a better way. You know, and be professional and not alter, you know, not change myself, but just be a better me. And even
with people come in your life to just make you a better person, help make you a better person, help push you.
He did.
That's wonderful. That's a blessing.
So yeah, that's what we want to do. So I can't wait. Yeah. I'm so excited about mommy and me mentoring.
I'm with you on that one.
Yes. How long have you been? How old is your son and your daughter?
My son is 7. My daughter is 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you reached the teenage age.
Yeah. She's in acting school right now.
Oh, okay.
And he's homeschooled, but I just paid for him a course to take a Lego class where he'll learn how to make his own Lego game.
Wow.
Because he's so into the games. I said, boy, you better stop watching that stuff and learn how to make it so you can make money. You know, That's what you into. Because I'm all about learning my children and figuring out what they're into so I can help shape that. You know, that's important to me, because I felt like when I was younger coming up, I didn't have nobody to do that for me. Yeah. You know, I still don't know who I was back then, and I think that's important for you to know who you were when you were coming up. Yeah. Because some of that stuff get lost along the way. Yeah. So when I reach out and I ask my family for old pictures, and they never get them to me and stuff like that, you know, it upsets me, because I'm trying to learn who I used to be. You know, so I can know those pieces of me that got lost along the way. You know, because I feel like those pieces will help make me whole. Now, I'm not going to leave me becoming whole up to the pictures and them doing what they need to do as far as being my family, just giving me. Why do you need pictures of me? All them pictures of me. Give me my pictures. Yeah. I want to show my kids, you know, what mommy looked like, what granddaddy, grandma.
That should be a given. That should be a given.
That should girl, it's not. Trust me. I don't understand it, and I never will. And God bless them, but I will never understand that one. Yeah. So
I don't understand that one either. Y'all know I'm big on pictures, but maybe they just cherish them in a way that we just don't understand.
But you got stuff like printing, copying. You can take a picture. You can take a picture of each and send it to me through my phone. Like
I took a picture of every picture in my grandmother's photo.
I don't need your original. I don't want your original copies. You got that. You can have them, but there's no reason you need a whole photo album of me and I don't have one. You know. So God bless them. Whatever. You know. I just have to build my legacy off of what I can remember. You know, but that's hard, you know, and that's why I said family is very important. And if you know, it's just a bunch of hate and jealousy and bitterness. Like, I don't get, family is not what it's supposed to be.
And you're from Baltimore? Mm-hmm. Is your family all from Baltimore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my family is all from Baltimore.
So, and, you know, I have this rebuilding the village thing too. But I think that's what it is. That rebuilding the village is just for like that family, the brokenness, you know, it has to come from somewhere. Right. Like even that holding on to pictures thing, something's going on, something's not clicking, something is happening.
Wrong with that. Yeah, I gotta keep begging y'all for my.
You have to find the core of the issue of the problem and find out why. You know, like, cause that's deep. That's really deep. Pictures are important. They're important to me. Y'all know pictures. Y'all see
they are very important.
They are really important. So why don't you tell me who is Chloe? Tell me who Miss Chloe is.
Okay. Well, my real name is Dawn. Chloe Blue came about around the same time I started acting. You know. Okay. Like I said, Blue, it was based off the chakra. It was when I gave myself a voice. When I told myself I wasn't going to be quiet anymore. I wasn't going to be scared. I wasn't going to be nervous. I was going to go ahead and go for what I wanted. in what I, my career in acting. I finally found something that I was really good at, other than writing, because I didn't even know I was that good at writing until later when I was telling somebody about it. And I'm like, girl, you write 90 pages straight? Like, who does that? Like, that's awesome. I'm like, is it? Okay, I've been doing that all my life. But I didn't know about my, me writing until later, but acting, that's where I came up with Chloe Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I had to express to you what blue is meant to me.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Because now it means even more to me.
And then I have Chloe Red sometimes where my hair will be red, and it's like that shows a side of me that, like, I don't want to say anger, but more aggression and more like it go with feelings,
Oh my goodness, that's how Beyonka even came. Beyonka is like that side of me, that aggressive side. Akira is like really sweet, and my heart is big, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I just that's my love side. But Bianca, she protects Akira. So once you mess up with Akira, then Bianca comes in. And it's like, okay, you really want to play with me like that? And that's when y'all see that red head, red lips, and you see the red heels. Let you know, red is even with the blue, y'all. I had to keep a little bit of red. Like, don't take me for a joke now. Don't take me for a joke because it's real. But I understand that also. They really do.
Colors mean a lot. Colors can control emotions. Colors mean a lot. And music, colors are like music, and they go together. Actually,
right.
Wave patterns, vibrations. So, that's who Chloe Blue is. So I just decided this year to like completely use the name Chloe Blue and not Dawn Hoff anymore.
Okay.
So when any work I do from now on will be Chloe Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, because just like Jamie Foxx, that's not his real name.
I just found out about that.
So, you have people who spice up their names.
I know.
I
was thinking, I have Akira King, Akira Queen, and then Beyonka. So I was like really thinking the same way, like with this talk show world thing. Should I keep Akira King? Should I keep Akira Queen? Well, Akira King is my real name, y'all. But what should I do, or should I do Beyonka? But I feel like there's so many different sides of me that, as crazy as it may sound, for each thing, like. Just Mommy and Me is Akira King. Bianca is the Bianca's Playhouse.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep all of them speak to me.
Just get a patent.
Yes, definitely right. So, what about your music? Have you recorded? Do you have music coming out? Do you have music that you're working on? Are you still in the making? Where are you at with this music thing?
Okay, music. I've written songs a lot. That I haven't finished.
Okay.
I've recorded songs. I had references to some songs, and it's a matter of having a strong team. Because you can write, you can sing all day long, but if you don't have a strong team pushing it, or somebody to stay on you, or you guys helping each other out, it's hard, and nowadays you don't need a manager really per se in the music industry, so that's better. But you still need people by your side that's gonna show you the way to go. So it's been hard for me to find people like that. I do have a couple, and they know who they are, so hopefully we'll get things pushing on the music area of my life. As far as movies, I've written a movie before. I had 2 teams. Both of the teams, but we just didn't make it. The first team was like 2 years ago when I tried to write, when I wrote my movie, we got everybody together, but we just weren't on the same page. So we kind of almost did the trailer for the movie, but never finished it. So a year later, I was encouraged by a friend of mine, shout out to David Hammond, to retry the movie because he was one of the starring leads in it. We retried it, and he was actually on my team that time, and a couple other people. That didn't go as well as planned. Things happen. But I managed to get a trailer from it. It wasn't the best trailer, so I don't really like putting it out there. But I'm proud of any work that I've ever done. So it just shows a stepping stone that I have been doing. I wrote my own song, produced it, and and everything, you know, and did a vid and got somebody to do a video for me.
Okay.
It's not the best song, it's not the best video, but I'm proud of that because I did everything on my own.
It is. Let me tell you, it's the best because you did it. Because you did it. So
it's a learning process, and you know, just like everything else, you know, I'm taking baby steps. You know, everybody's like, man, she's been doing this for so long. She's been doing acting. She's been doing singing. She's been doing things for so long. Just like me, everybody's like, when is she's gonna really make it? You know, because everybody, I have friends that's like, oh, I would have thought she'd been in LA by now, or you know, on a big screen by now. Well, I am working on a movie. Well, I'm in a movie called First Lady. Shout out to Selena Pope, the writer, director, and producer, and you know, I play a part in that. It's coming out August the 17th. You can inbox me for tickets, Chloe Blue. Tickets $12 a piece. So that's August the 17th. So I will be on the big screen.
okay.
In the theaters on
I heard a lot about that movie. That's a good theater. That's a good theater because they got the chairs, y'all, to lean back. So it's a good theater to do that.
So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited for you. And Tony Fields. Is it Tony Fields?
Tony Fields.
Tony Fields. Tony, I don't know why I'm messing your last name up. Tony Roberts. Maybe that's what it is. But question of the day, Tony. I know that. Tony, question of the day. You changed the name to QTD. So, but he's also in that movie. And yeah, he's definitely supposed to have been on the Playhouse, so shout out to him. But
my girl Jess Real, she's in it.
Yeah, Jess,
Melanie, Trina. Hey, Trina. Yeah. So, you know, got a lot of great people.
I saw the trailer.
Nestor Ben, he's, you know, the editor and everything. He's the one directing it. He shot the movie. So I'm looking forward to see how he put together his work. Yeah. And, you know, it's a lot of great other people in it. So
the trailer looks good. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see the whole thing. When I saw the trailer, I was like, why did you send this to me? And because I was like, oh, is it out now? And somebody else who sent it to me. Lakia Queen sent it to me.
Okay.
And Lakia sent it to me and said, you know, you should interview them.
Right.
Because this movie is going to be hot. So when I saw it, I said, oh, wow, where can I see the whole movie? And she's like, oh, it's not going to be out till August. So this was like in July. And I was like, why did you send it to me? Because I want to see like everything now. I need to see what happens. Right. You know, it's one of those suspense type things. They had me in suspense when I watched the trailer. So I'm excited. And, you know, I'm going to tell you the same thing you tell me. It's baby steps. You know, everything that we go through, we're meant to go through. This journey is our personal journey, you know, so I'm always knocking Beyonka Studios because y'all just don't know what behind the scenes look like. And I'm always knocking, and I get discouraged some days because literally, you know, it's just me. And, you know, again, with, like I said, you know, when you and I first met, that first conversation we had, in that moment, I was letting go of a lot of people that were on the Beyonka's Playhouse, not team, because they weren't doing nothing for me, but, you know, they were just around me because sometimes, even though people aren't doing anything, just their presence sometimes will motivate you a little bit. You know, their energy can be negative. But they're just knowing, like, okay, well, at least I have, like, these 5 people, like, at least they're there. You know, so their presence was like, okay, good, at least I have them there. They gave me security. Right. But the fact that their presence wasn't helping me is what motivated me to move on. Okay. You know, so it was still hard, though. So now that it's like I'm literally by myself. Yeah. So everything is by myself. Oh, no, I have you. Just ask me. That's what I'm getting at. But, you know, so I understand what you mean by, like, when you spoke earlier about, you know, not having that motivation, you know, because sometimes you really just want or need that person to just say in your ear, like, come on, Akira, go ahead. Come on, Chloe. You know, you should do this or let's do that, you know, and it's just, it's so much easier to do it that way.
Yeah, P. Fraser has been a good motivator in my life.
Oh,
yeah, he's awesome.
Good. Yeah.
He's like the one I call, I can cry to, you know, and I feel like,
oh my God, where was you at last night? I was like literally looking for somebody to cry to.
You can cry. You can cry on the shoulder. Like,
I was like, Lord, who do I call to cry to? And I didn't have anybody to call, but it was cool.
He's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's a blessing though, honestly, real talk. That is really a blessing to have that person in your life because you're gonna need that. Even through this journey, you need that one person that you could just like, let me just let it all out, you know, and just, I mean, of course y'all know I'm an advocate of God. But you know, even with God, sometimes I swear I will lay on my pillow and be like in conversation with God and just be like, let me just, this is my person right now. So I know, you know, how that feels. And this entertainment business is hard. It's extremely hard. It is. It's like every step of the way, down to getting phone calls and somebody telling you about your microphones.
Right, but then you got right.
Camera.
But then you got children too. So you know, for me, it's like I have like casting calls in my email. Like I get casting calls from different organizations. But I cannot always, like, most of the time I can't make these casting calls because, like, I'm either down on the money or, like, I gotta put my money towards the kids, which is fine, girl. You know? So
that'll make a bitter baby mama, girl. Because you be like, you can't help me. That'll make a bitter baby mama.
Exactly. Girl. And you know what I'm saying? So
I'm here. I know how you feel.
And literally, as an actress, you have to set up a separate kitty for money. For traveling expenses. Blah, blah, blah. Or you're not going to be able to make these auditions. You're just not going to be able to do it. And local auditions is fine. I picked up some local jobs where they went well. But I want to expand to New York. I want to expand to Philly, different places where I know, you know, my people love me, Baltimore love me, but I know that these people appreciate me even more because I'm different from what they used to.
And just be introduced to different people, you know?
Exactly. So I can bring the attention back to Baltimore because that's, you know, that's where I'm from. I always rep that. No matter what nobody has to say bad about it. You know,
that's where you're from.
That's me.
So
so
I mean, I just, even with Beyonka's Playhouse, like right now it's just been driving me crazy. I have an interview that I'm supposed to be doing in Atlanta. And I really want to do this. And just that knowing, it's with, so I'm doing another project. Okay. Girl, it's so many projects. But it's called Beyonka's Safe House. So I'm going to different strip clubs and talking to exotic dancers and showing people the life of an exotic dancer behind the scenes. Okay. So it's another documentary. But my very first the very first young lady to do the interview, she was I don't want to tell you too much, but she's like a really high up person, like who I'm gonna just say had a really big promising career in the music industry. On the elegant, not on the elegant because it's not elegant, but on the classical side, I'll say. And she let go of everything and became an exotic dancer. And so her story is just amazing to me. And so she'll be my very first interview, but she's in Atlanta. But the reason I talk about it is because that's one of the things that drive me crazy. Every time I think like, okay, well maybe I can put these pennies over here and then go hit down there, I'm like, no, but the kids need toothpaste.
It's always something that the kids need.
Yeah, the kids need this, so the kids need that. So I understand that 1,000%, but just not giving up and just saying like I'm gonna continue, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna just put it all in perspective and just, you know, it'll happen, you know. So yeah, I understand 1,000%.
Yeah. So it's, you know, it's a work in progress. I'm not gonna give up. You know, this is what I love doing. So, you know, you can tell an elephant to climb a tree all its life and it'll keep failing. Can't climb a tree, it'll be looking at the monkeys and the birds, whatever, all up in the tree, and it's like, oh gosh, I want to get up in that tree. But if that's not what it was meant to do, it's going to be miserable his whole life.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to spend time trying to be something I'm not or something that I want. You know, I started out doing nursing. Nurse assistant. Right? Okay. And before that, but you know, it got sad for me because I didn't want to be on that side of seeing people die anymore. I wanted to go to the other side where while people are here, I can help them live and help them smile, help them be happy. Yeah. So that's why I jumped on the other side, like totally opposite of a nurse. even though I still have that heart, that caring heart, and I'll still help anybody.
Yeah.
I'm on this side now where I want when people are alive, because it would be times in University Hospital where I'll see people 1 minute, the next day they're gone, and I'm like, how this person was just full of life. Like, what did y'all do to them? What kind of experiments y'all got? I started questioning stuff, and then it was like just.
You're the second person I heard that from.
Yeah, not, whatever, girl. They experiment on their medicines and all that stuff. I'm sure they did. I'm sure all hospitals, they got medicine that they want to try out on people and stuff like that. And they have failed, they fail a lot, and people die a lot. Yeah. So, yeah, basically, so
you got on the side where you could just be with people that are living and help them, help them. Like, look. Yeah, let me bring you some joy. Let me bring you some joy in a safe location where I know you're not finna croak in a second. I don't know if that'll be indoors though in Baltimore. Better be indoors.
Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't scared of that other side now. And everybody got to die one day, but it's just a matter of I want to be able to make people laugh, and I want to entertain people. Yeah. So.
Yes. Okay. And see, I want to heal people. I want to love people, and I want to entertain all of the things.
Right.
Right.
Look what you're doing.
I'm healed. Oh, you healed. I'm healed. Y'all hear that? I just healed one person, and I say if I heal one person, I'm done.
I am healed.
Let me stop mocking people. Yes.
No, he did that.
I know, right? Oh my God.
You can't take that from him. Yes.
He was healed. You know what? He was though, but I'm trying. And then they want to knock him down and make him go back to the other thing.
That's a whole nother story.
Send him back to the other side. But we have I got so many things in plan. Oh, right. I have so much planned for Beyonka's Playhouse, y'all. And I'm so glad that God brought Chloe Blue into my life, because I just feel like it is destined, and I've learned my lesson, because sometimes people come into my life and I'm like, ooh, stay. And so I learned, like, no, God don't mean for everybody to stay. Some people, you need to let them come in. Hey, how you doing? It's nice to meet you. Goodbye. Right. But, you've definitely been, so I mean, just being honest, I've definitely taken my time and felt out Miss Chloe. And today just seals the deal. So I pray that God blesses our journey together, because I have so many things that I've been working on that I've just been sitting on, because I'm like, oh, well, I don't know, I'm not sure. And just our conversation tonight has definitely brought me confirmation, in so many different ways that you don't even know. And I'm not going to make the show 18 hours, so I'm not going to tell all y'all my business. But but honestly, it's definitely brought a lot of confirmation. And I think that we could be a benefit to each other, in this entertainment world and our world, period. Just, in the spiritual world, just in every way. You have an awesome aura, a very positive spirit, and you're very beautiful, not just, physically, but I can feel your heart is beautiful as well. So I just pray that. Ooh, girl!
Now for me, I can feel your heart.
Y'all thought I was saying too. And I went like this, and I was like, no.
What am I saying? Coming in, let me say you. Is that the words? I can hear your heart. Yeah, girl.
You have a real distinctive voice.
It's
like,
it's soft.
It is.
I have to work on the truth. Like, whoa. I have to work on it.
But it's like one of those. Nowadays a lot of people, because I think they do what I do and mimic. I mimic singers, especially like if I'm singing India Ivory Girl, I'm gonna sound just like India Ivory Girl. I mimic so good.
Well, I'm good at that too. If I say the same.
Yes.
If people be like, no, take this song and just do you, boo. Like if they give you the national anthem and tell you to sing it
like Whitney Houston. I do.
That's one of them songs you can't mimic somebody.
Yeah.
That's just a song.
Girl, it is. You can't hit the notes the right way. I swear. But you really have like this distinctive type of voice. It's not like anybody else's. So I can't see you actually being able to mimic anybody else. It's got like this soft, pure, pretty voice. It's like pretty, you know?
Thank
So
you.
yes, I can't wait to hear a whole song because she keep playing with us, y'all.
I know. You will. It's coming.
I'm looking forward to. I'm patient. So, well, you know what? I ain't gonna challenge you. I started to challenge you and say, well, when Frazier comes back, then you gotta say something because I definitely want to. I'm gonna definitely put him on the spot and have him perform something when he comes back.
He's good with on the spot, girl. He is smart enough. And look at him. Spot. What? That's where I belong.
Let me go. Oh, he's ready.
Good when people put him on the spot, girl. I wish I had that type of.
Oh, see, oh yeah, oh, okay. See, people. I mean, I think that's a good thing, especially since you freestyle though.
Right.
How about I thought he sang gospel, and then when they told me that he, I was like, wow, my God,
he really sounds good. He really does.
I went back and started stalking his pictures. I saw it. Yeah, because I'm like, what did I miss? Yeah, I was like, I missed this after we were talking in the inbox. I was like. Let me go back because he's playing with me. And I was like, okay, you're not playing. So I know today had to be awesome and they had to love it because they need some guys like it's real. So I think that was a good thing.
Was it a big crowd?
No, because of the rain and everything, it kind of like.
I kept hearing it was going to storm today all day. So when it finally
later,
yeah.
Storming people because the airplane was till 8 and the storm went bad around 7.
Oh, okay.
I was the opening. That's the blessing about it. I was the first artist.
Oh, wow.
This is my first time actually going after him to be the first like artist because the people before me were just exercising people and doing something, and I was the actual first artist in the whole program.
Oh, wow.
So, I didn't get the gist of all the people, but
yeah,
at least I was able
but
to
still, yeah. I think,
yeah,
that's awesome, and I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, today's been. That's why I've been just like I'm just sitting here.
You better stay on that high because I know you got to be on that nice, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay humble, like, but I get real excited. I'll be like really excited. I just been absorbing everything. Like,
yeah. It is, yes. Oh my God, I be in going through the roof. Let me tell you something. When the show ends, look, every now and then, you know, a show will end and we have like 1,000 views, and I'll be in this joint doing church dance. The kids be.
No, I don't want to do like I was in my car and it was like congratulations out there and they got the car and it was like because I felt like I was going to start crying because my cousin Dominique passed away and she knew this time was coming. She spoke in my life and stuff like that.
Wow.
She died in December. So it felt like that stuff in the movies, you know, when like somebody died, you're like, who will make it? You know, and you just get this extra like this extra force. It's as if she just gave me extra.
Gave you some,
Yes. Wow. Yeah. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Wow. Definitely hold on to that.
Yeah.
Hold on to that moment. Because, I mean, and I guess that's why you probably felt like you were going to cry. Because I'd be emotional. I'd be emotional about every little thing that God blessed me with. Especially when it's unexpected. You know, and it just happens. Like, it's just like, oh, my God. I mean, I go off. So, I'm going to say, enjoy the moment. Embrace the moment. Because God gave it to you, you know. I think Mama's like, you know, it's his gift to you, and you deserve it because you've been working for it.
I got to speak on her because she's been speaking on.
Yeah, go ahead, speak on her.
The thing about Chloe that I like about Chloe, because I know she's, God bless her, she's been speaking, you know, on me as well, and she's very humble. It's just the fact of how she listens and the wisdom, and both of us are writers. So like the communication and writing, we don't verbally talk, and both of us being in the industry type, it's like we don't. If I text on Tuesday, I might not get a reply till Thursday. But I understand that, but real, it's vice versa. You know,
he does that too.
Yeah. So like you know, I'll get a moment where it'll just be a big, huge message thing, like a big wisdom thing. If I say something, you know, she ain't going for it. She's like, no, you know, God, this, and I'll just be like, and I'll just go back to it and read it sometimes, and it's just the soft. It's like you were saying. Is when people get agreement, you know, it's the same. It's a soft, real soft. That's why when she sings, it's angelic.
Yeah, that's the word. I was like, yes.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Wizard of Oz, the Good Witch. How she would go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that. So I just want to thank God for it because she don't get into all the hype and all that kind of stuff. She don't. You know, and I'm the same way because we both have people that admire. You just have admirers, and some people don't know how to handle admirers. They get to the point where they get jealous or you You know what I'm saying? People just very vocal about themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I just really think I'm.
Oh, that was so sweet. I know. But I could not put my tongue on a word. But Angelica is definitely, you know, the word for her voice. She really has this really beautiful voice. It's like as soon as she started singing the first song, I was just like, you know, you get the little tingle.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. So that's why I'm like, I cannot wait to hear her really sing and just come to out. I mean, you know, Beyonka's birthday bash is coming up.
Hey.
And, you know, I'm trying to get people to perform. So, you know, y'all can definitely do something. Yes. Yes. So, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this crazy interview. We were talking about so many different things, but all of it definitely flowed together, I think, wonderfully. And I'm just so grateful to have had you inside of the Playhouse tonight. I don't know what is going on. Okay, y'all heard that? That was the angels. Anyhow,
So there you go. We got angels around us.
We really do. So, you know, but I'm so glad that you were able to come through. And I cannot wait for you guys to come back when we end the show. We're going to lock in a date for you guys to come back so that we can do the full interview and y'all can swap seats and we can get to know Mr. Frazier on a whole nother level.
Because we didn't talk about
what a woman wants. Yes. We forgot all about what women want. That little baby mama thing went into so many different elements. Like because we're women who are moms who have children. All right, we're baby mamas. But I was trying to make it sound cute.
Respectful baby mamas.
Respectful baby mamas and
babies' mothers.
Exactly. And we have children, so I really felt like, you know, it needed to be understood that there are reasons why you have better baby moms.
I'm trying to figure out how to say that. Babies' mothers.
I know it's not cute. It's not cute no matter what, how we put it. Even with being an ex-wife, like I'm an ex-wife, but I'm still a baby mom.
I'm just a mother, y'all.
A mother who has a child who I don't like.
Wait.
A child whose father I don't like. Look at Chloe's face. She was like, you don't like your child?
No, you just told me off guard. I was like, oh shit. That would be a whole nother show. That would be ugly. That'd be ugly. Sticks and stones thrown at the person. I don't even know what come and say that.
I don't even. That's why I say I don't know how to relate to the women.
Catch me outside.
Catch me outside, mama. She might not like that girl. But even her, you know, even with her, like I see, my kids watch her videos, and I see, and
I be like, girl, don't watch her.
But you know, as much as her mother might be annoyed with her mom is still a mom to her. So that's why I cannot understand or relate to women who are not mothers to their children. I just don't understand it. Like, you know, our children drive us crazy, but you know, I don't understand it.
Right.
But not children. Let me correct that. I'm a mom with children, with a father. I don't like it. So that's what it was.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah. So I just thought it was important for us to talk about that. So when we bring Mr. Frazier back, when we set this date, that will be the whole topic that night will be what a woman wants. And you guys will have the opportunity to comment and tell us what you think a woman wants. Mm-hmm. You know, guys and ladies, you can comment and tell these fellas what a woman wants. And we just gonna have a full show of what a woman wants.
Some real mature answers.
Exactly. Some really mature answers. Like
women just don't want
it. Because you know they sell those in the store nowadays. And for all that, if that's all you got to give them, go get the one that vibrates.
Right. Oh, they do
tricks. The jack one.
So
anyway,
let's have some more mature answers other than that.
Yeah.
Fellas, y'all got to come with more than just penis.
You definitely do, because we want so much more than just that. We do,
even though that,
but we want so much more.
That's nice. It's nice, but
right? But yeah, but
more than that.
So on the next date, you guys, make sure you're tuning in. Tuesday, real quick before we get out of here. Tuesday, the show is on polygamy. So on Temptation Tuesday, I have a gentleman by the name of Kashif Muhammad. He's coming in with his wives. He has,
interesting.
I think he has 3 wives,
Okay.
and they're all coming to the Playhouse. Woo, it's gonna be so good! I'm so Y'all know I cannot wait.
What kind of
This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be so awesome because listen, what I wanted to do was do a show on polygamy and why the reasons why I agree with polygamy, right? Because I was always
Hold up. Wait.
I'm gonna leave it for Tuesday. But I wanted to do a show just on like Beyonka's views on polygamy. Versus being a mistress. That's what it was gonna be. And then I thought like, okay, well wait, no, people aren't gonna just come for me. I need for them to come for someone else. So,
right.
So I can't be the one that
we talked about it.
Exactly. So I was like, I should find somebody who can give people knowledge
Educated
on this,
answers.
exactly. Not only just educated answers, but religious answers, because polygamy comes from a religion, not just from religious, because in some situations it comes from a way of life as well. But the ultimate religious reasons I felt like, were important for people to understand, because, a lot of people know about Islam and they're like, oh, Muslims can have 5 wives and they can do this. And, they joke about it. But I wanted to be able to enlighten people and educate people on the true reason why polygamy exists.
I think one of the main reasons is to build a nation.
Build a nation?
Build more black
people.
Have more,
No, that's not it either. No, because no, that's
like,
not,
keep it in the
no.
Okay. Because Muslims, well, I'll let him explain it. I don't know, girl. I don't even want to. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. That's the reason why I'm having him come, because she has done a live before with his wives. And I personally was one of those people watching their live like, what is going on? Because I agree with it to an extent, and I understand it, and I believe that it has its benefits and pluses and things like that. But I was like, maybe he needs more of a talk show type of thing to actually articulate what it is he's trying to say in a better way, and that people can perceive, understand it and receive it better. So when I thought about doing this topic last week, I was thinking like, who can I get to come on the show? And then I thought about Kashif. So Kashif has agreed to come on with his wives, and it's going to be a really good show because, for all of us to be able to get the knowledge and the understanding and the education on what the benefits are of polygamy, what polygamy really is, what polygamy is in Islam, what polygamy is in this United States today, and all of that good stuff. And
why did it start?
Why did it start? How did it start? Yeah, because you have all of those stories on, well, I heard this, or I thought this, so we're gonna come to you guys Tuesday, and we actually, God willing, we're gonna be on time, y'all, because I'm telling you, behind the scenes be hard. But we're gonna be on time Tuesday at 9 o'clock. So make sure you guys are tuning in for Temptation Tuesday, and polygamy just fits right in there, because temptation, you want to have multiple wives or multiple. Let me just stop
right
it.
And when you get into the temptation of
when you get into the temptation of it, that's when I believe it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys tune in Tuesday at 9 o'clock for the polygamy with Kashif and his wives, as well as Beyonka. Miss Chloe Blue is definitely not going to be a stranger to the Playhouse. She'll be back with Mr. Frazier, and she's my new boo. She's my new best friend, so I'm not going to let her go anywhere. So if Chloe friends are looking for her, just call me. But I'm so glad. Yes, in Beyonka Studios. But you guys, please share the show with your friends. Please follow me on Instagram at Beyonka's Playhouse. That's Beyonka's_Playhouse. And Snapchat at Bays_Playhouse. And where can they find Miss Chloe?
Okay, so it's Chloe Blue on Facebook, Chloe Blue's World on IG, and Chloe Blue 7 on Twitter. That's about it. I don't have a lot. I don't even hardly use my Twitter.
I keep forgetting about the Twitter. I got Beyonka's Playhouse on Twitter. So I think it's like Beyonka's Playhouse 2 or something. I don't know, but
you sound like me. I'm like rarely on there.
I know, me too. But I heard that we need to get on there.
Yeah.
So somebody find my Twitter, and then we're gonna start tweeting.
Yeah.
Are you on Snapchat?
I am, but I'm not. Like I only use it for the funny faces.
Oh, because they cute, yeah.
Yeah, I only do the snap filters.
I'm trying to get into the social media thing.
I still use Dove Smash.
What?
I still do Dove Smash because I'm silly. Like,
oh, Dove Smash, yes. I didn't even know. My baby Kanaya loves Dove Smash.
I still love Dove Smash.
Yes. So you guys, listen. You guys, make sure you follow her, follow me, and meet me here on Tuesday. And I'll let you guys know after the show when they'll be back. You know, I'll post it. And you know, usually I do a promo video, and everything is happening so fast this week, and so much is going on that I didn't do one, but I will do one for when they come back. So you guys be on the lookout for the promo video for Chloe and Mr. Frazier, and definitely share this live and make sure you're liking Beyonka's Playhouse page. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh yeah, wait, Mr. Frazier, we gotta tell him. Find him. Follow him on everything that he can reach out to.
What up? Yeah, you just follow me on Facebook, Kevin Frazier. I don't really have like an IG and all that. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. So it's just word up. Right. Kevin Frazier at Facebook and 443-802-1918. That's my ministry number. I'm up at night like around this time, so you got suicidal thoughts. It's serious. Like, call me. Like I've done it. I've done it before. My ministry number. I keep my number open for people.
I'm gonna post it in the comments. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I had like 3-4 calls. That one time I got on Facebook and I was like, you know, hit my phone number, man.
Suicide is real.
Suicide is.
It's so.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you for putting that out there to everybody. So you guys definitely, I'm definitely gonna put his number up there for you guys to contact if you need him. And just that was just thank you.
Yeah,
okay. Thank you for that. So you guys be on the lookout for him. He'll be back on Beyonka's Playhouse so that you can get to know all about Mr. Frazier soon. And of course, Miss Chloe will be back as well. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I am your host, Beyonka. Good night.